Hawks haven't lost a game against Brisbane, so I'd love to see them get up, but I think Brisbane are going to take the cake today.
Good stuff. Sarah Hosking in the house with Chris Johnson. It's your Sunday call team.
Next to me.
It's going to be a great day here in the box. Last day of Sir Doug Nicholls round. Let's get underway here for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M Rocks footy. The big men go to work. Neil couldn't quite claw it. Ricochets out to Day. Stood up in the tackle. Got it to Newcomb, who loops a handball wide. Sicily got bumped on the kick, but just massaged it nicely to Nash, who cuts the kick back inside to Amon. Amon goes long and deep as always. Inside 50. Hardwick box seat. Couldn't quite off hands. At the front and centre there. Good tackle laid by Dylan Moore. We'll have a ball up. 35 out from the Hawks goal.
He had Impey short there. Probably could have used Impey, and Impey could have broken the 50 and had a shot from there.
Ruckman, the little tap down to McCluggage. It came from big McInerney. McCluggage threw it onto his right boot. Just a high kick towards the centre of the ground. Bottom of the pack was Zorko. Won it for the Lions. Hand pass off to Dunkley. Went straight there. Another slick one to Neil. Brilliant. And he worked his way through traffic. Drilled a pass to Cameron, who's 70 from home. Goes to full forward and he's found his mark. And it is the young man Ryan. Turns and kicks a goal. The Lions open up with a ripper. Brisbane one straight goal. The Hawks are yet to score. That's on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. Helping tradies like the homes of Australia. Beacon Trade. Let's make light work.
Yeah, and that was outstanding from Lockie Neal. He's just gone straight through traffic, run past about 4 players and then hit a target right in the middle of the ground. And just Brisbane too quick there on turnover for Hawthorn. As Heath mentioned earlier, it's going to be one of their strengths at the moment has been that score from turnover.
Yeah, again, Hawthorn, the best team at defending that ball movement in the competition, number one. Only conceded 13 goals in 10 games from that source. Lions on the board already.
And that's what the Lions want to do, Says. They want to come through the corridor. Once Lockie Neal was through there, they were all out through the corridor. There was a number of players he could have chosen, but that was a great attack from the Lions off half-back.
How about that? Brandon Ryan was playing in Hawks colours last year. He's kicked the first goal of the game for the Lions as we're back in the middle for McDonald's. Ream Hot Water. There's been an infringement in the ruck contest. The big O winds onto the big 16 slipper and goes high and long inside 50. Ball off hands. Lohman kicked 5 last week. This one dribbles out to the left-hand side. One behind. 2 minutes gone first term. Kick 1 goal, 1 now the Lions. Hawks yet to score. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard, helping tradies like the homes of Australia. Beacon Trade, let's make light work.
So Impey at full back. We'll bring it back in. The skipper. And he plays on. Looks to the outer side wing. Long, low drop punt out there. No mark taken. Dunkley at the fall of the ball for Brisbane. Little hand pass to the veteran Leicester. Kick partially smothered. Goes straight up in the air and it's slapped out of bounds. And a boundary throw will ensue on the outer side wing. 1-1-7 Brisbane. The Hawks yet to score. 2.5 minutes into the first term. Perfect conditions, of course, here at Marvel because the roof's closed.
That's right. It's a cracking day outside here in Melbourne, as it was yesterday. But geez, I thought they would have had the roof open, open today.
Not allowed to anymore.
No? Why not?
Shut for every game.
Oh, wow.
Sure is. As Rayner carries that one out of bounds. True centre wing on the far side of the ground.
Not allowed to do a lot of things.
Yeah, shut for every game. So every game they've said.
Let's not get political in the box today, please.
No, politics.
The new feisty McSpicy range at Macca's. Things just got feisty as the ball comes back in on the outer side. Tried to soccer off the deck day. Picking it up though Moore. Had one arm pinned in the tackle and he dropped it. So it'll be a free kick to the way of McCluggage on the outside wing. He cuts it wide on the 45. He's got the man in
outside play on
Rebel. He goes forward. Hard up on the boundary. An inside ball though has been chopped off by Weddle. Takes a good mark in the back pocket.
He's been great for the last couple of weeks with Hawthorn sitting back there. He's really lifted his game and taken it to another level, and also he's been able to create some opportunities through the middle of the ground.
What did I aim on? Aim on to Impey. He goes to Newcomb with a drilling pass, and they're on the wing, the Hawks. Low drop punt and land towards the young man down there in Deer, and he pushes it further on, and it's grabbed by Chol, and he's 45 out. Didn't go for goal. Tried to drill it towards the hot spot. And it is the Lions who run it out of defence, and a long kick to the centre to Big Danaher.
He cut it off for a moment, picked up the scraps, and then he handballs it out wide. Ball sat nicely for Dunkley. He handballs back to Danaher on his silky left. Long, deep. And in the right spot at the right time, Cameron pulls it down 20 from home.
Well, he had a few different options there, see. He could have gone short, but he actually went long. He's seen Charlie had the space outside, but, geez, that was a great transition again through the back line there. Child probably, I thought, could have had the shot on goal rather than actually try to pass it in, and his incorrect disposal just turned the ball over, and the Lions were out.
Kicked 5 last week, working his way back into form. 17 goals, 13 for the year. For his first for the afternoon, he has absolutely munted that, Jono. He's almost come off the knee.
That's shocking. Come off the thigh, not the knee.
He's missed the lot there, so hasn't registered a score. It'll remain unchanged. Brisbane 1-1-7. Hawks yet to score. Triple M. Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Jono, of course, you were a leading goal kicker at the Lions.
Yeah, it was once upon a time.
Yes, you were.
That's when we were down the bottom of the ladder.
Yep.
How many that year, Jono?
I think it was about 21 goals.
Okay, all right. Got it done.
About 21? Or he knows?
Oh, no, he knows it was 21.
Many behinds in there, Jono?
No, none of all 21 straight up. Played in the back pocket as well.
Okay, good.
Ainsworth and McCluggage at half forward, but the umpire's going to pluck a free to the Lions here. And it's going to go back to McCluggage, who got dumped after he handballed the ball away. And he's about 50 metres out, and he's directly in front of goal. So an opportunity for Lions to register their second.
Yeah, and Brisbane just looking like they've got a bit more composure than Hawthorn at the moment. That's the story, as Heath mentioned. It's that quick turnover that they're able to do.
So a couple of opportunities other than their goal. One's been a behind, the other one missed everything. So McCluggage from 50. Can he register the major? He's hooked this slightly and it's through for another behind. Brisbane 1-2-8. The Hawks get the score. We're 6.5 minutes into the first term here. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
And their pressure has been really good the last 3 to 4 weeks, Hawthorn, when they've gone up against some big teams. Obviously, last week they went down, but the weeks before that, they were very, very good over in Tassie.
As Sicily drives a drop punt to the outer side, Chol pulls down the mark to the applause, but his kick's turned over by Andrews, who dropped the ball, went to kick, and then decided to just drop it and pick it back up, and they went all their way back to D50. McKenna. He bites off the ball into the corridor. Loman releasing handball here. Froggy Lester winds up. It's a worm-burning ball, top of the square. Big pack, ball off hands. McInerney's claimed it, and big Lloyd Meeks sits on top of him. Says you're going nowhere. Ball up, top of the goal square here for the Lions.
Yeah, and Hawthorn's just allowing Lions to get the ball in way too easily at the moment.
So a huge pack underneath this. About 15 metres from the Lions' goal. And the umpire will ball it up again after the midfield's just piled on top of the footy. Thrown in the air. McInerney trying to find a bit of space. Meek tried to slap it sideways. Newcomb throws himself to the bottom of the pack for the Hawks. And they sit on top of him. Had to shuffle it out, and he did. Neil's got it. Hand pass back of the pack. And as Yarth's got it, little hand pass over towards Sicily. Sicily to Warple. No, he goes by foot instead. And he finds more defensive side of the wing and he marks broadcast side.
Chisels a low flat one. McDonald with the bleached rat's tail. Has it at right half back.
Move it on.
Not a lot ahead of him. He's looking up. There's just no movement. It's stagnant. So he bombs long for territory. Leicester in good shape. Off the hands of Giath. And then Andrews just clamps it in. Tackled by Gunston. Ball up broadcast wing.
Yeah, they really closed them down really quick. The defensive six there of the Brisbane Lions, they had a few outs, but they came up and they had Jaff going through. They manned them up really quickly.
Tap down Dunkley. Scrambles one forward. Giath, well, just slapped it back to Newcomb. And a right foot worm burner up to the 50. Beats Gunston. Out the back, McKenna. He's going to fan it across the defensive goal face, and they're out here, the Lions.
They certainly are. Low drop punt. Payne is good and marked at half back to Cameron. So a long way from home. But Lions in control of the footy. Happy to chip it around. He goes short to Lockie Neal. And the Brownlow medalist runs to the outer side wing. He goes very, very wide, just inside the boundary line, as Impey stands the mark. Brisbane 1-2-8. And yet the score of the Hawks. And Ainsworth it is with a footy. Kick towards half forward, and Sicily sees the ball fall into a hole, which he runs into, marks comfortably on his chest at half back.
Good to see him back out there. Had the shoulder injury, took last week off, and he puts a ball to advantage there for Ginnivan, who goes long in the Chol direction. He flies, he got a mitt to it, brought it to ground. Front centre was Leicester, knocked it out into space, and then he gets it on the right boot. It's a high one, but it's wide. He's put it out on the full.
That was good by Ginnivan, I like says, because he actually made the Brisbane Lions defenders defend. He could have almost went with the shorter one, but he actually kicked it long, and now they've got a repeat inside forward 50.
So Impey, the acting captain in Sir Doug Nicholls' round, he goes long and deep. Chol flew high. Out the back, Gunston tracks the footy. Sees it out of bounds. 20 around from the Hawks' goal. They're yet to kick a score yet this afternoon. 9-minute mark of the first term. Brisbane Lions 1 goal 2-8. That's all on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
So the Hawks an opportunity here inside. Disappointment last week. And they would have been flat as pancakes in the ensuing days. If they got back up to have a crack at the Lions here at home. The boundary throw-in sees a playing group of about 10 buzz around the footy ground level. Hand pass comes out to Given and he's on forward 50. Hand pass to Day. Day for the Hawks goes into the pocket. It's good. Gunston has taken the mark. 25 out. But he's on the boundary, left forward pocket. And the veteran will go back and have the first shot, you would think, for the Hawks.
Yeah, and that was an outstanding kick from Day. Put it right out in front of Gunston. There was no way that his defender could have got that.
So Gunston will go across his body. He squares himself up. For the first score for the Hawks this afternoon. It's not bad off the boot. That is a ripper. And Jack has kicked Hawthorn's first goal. They're 1 goal straight, 1-2-8 to the Brisbane Lions. They lead by 2 points. 10.5 first term on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Well, they've been good. They've been good. Once they've gone forward, they've looked really good. And from centre forward says that they've really looked like they've had space and time. So we had Chol go there a bit earlier where they turned the ball over and they missed that goal in the Lions. But now they go inside forward 50. They get Gunston. He hooks it around the corner and they've got time and they've got space going forward. So Brisbane need to be very mindful of that. And Hawthorn, they need to keep doing it. They need to keep attacking from the back half because what they're trying to do is trying to pull up all their forwards at the moment. But then the defenders of the Brisbane Lions can't get back. So they need to keep doing that, Hawthorn.
It's the voice of Chris Johnson on the Triple M Seabus Super Special comments. In the back row today with Sarah Hosking. Seabus Super making hard work pay off since 1984. As it's a good bounce by the umpire for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M rocks footy. Tap to the advantage of Nash. He picks it up, gets it to Warble. Closed down by Lohman. A squirting ball inside 50 off hands. Answorth got tunnelled under the pill. No free kick coming. And Chol's taken to the turf. 40 out from the Hawks goal.
Good signs for Hawthorn, especially around the middle of the ground. They're getting their hands on it and they're getting it forward quick.
Thrown in the air. Big Meek taps down to Ginnivan. Stands in 3 tackles, or 3 tacklers. And the umpire will ball it up again. Same spot, about 40 out from the Hawks goal. Tossed in the air. Meek slaps to the fat side of the pack to open space. Moore shrugs off his opponent for the Hawks and he runs into trouble. Had to dispossess the footy. Wilmot got it. Hand pass buried. Goes back by hand. Payne. Quick kick out of the pack for the Lions. Bounces across their defensive 50. Sicily went to ground. Look for the free. The umpire said get on with it. Gets back up. Hand pass backwards to Amon. They're 70 from home now. Now he's got Nash in a bit of space. Nash kicks to Ginnivan. Went at it one hand. 35 out. Didn't mark. Spills to ground level. Little shot from D'Ambrosio from 25 out, and he's put it across the face and through for a point. 1-1-7 the Hawks, 1-2-8 the Lions. Good start, 13 minutes first term. Beacon Trade scoreboard.
To echo what you said, Jono, Hawks are looking dangerous when they're inside. I'm loving the desperation. There's repeat tackles, repeat entries, and there's pressure on the Brisbane defenders when they're trying to bring the ball out. It's creating good opportunities.
Bailey, right back pocket, runs to the 50 and then belts it to the outer wing. Big nest off the hands of Scrimshaw. And then a tackle ensues on the outer side. Almost left the stoppage there, the Hawks, but the umpire says, give it to me.
And the Hawks are winning the ball at the source at the moment. I know we're only in early stages of this first term or midway through, but they're actually winning it at the source and giving their forwards the best opportunity when they do go forward. So Hawthorn have got to keep that up, and they've got to try and generate that throughout the game. Win the contested ball when it's a stoppage like this out on the far wing, but they win it and then get it forward quick and get the defenders of Brisbane really on their tails.
Red Z lending stats. Hawthorn's pressure 204 as well. AFL average is 180. Top 2 pressure team, as you were saying, John, over the last 3 weeks.
Red Z Landing loans for the self-employed, REDZED.com, as McKenna surges forward for the Lions. And here's Morris in game 4. He fans it wide to Danaher. He'll cut back inside on his left boot from 80. It's a long bomb. Ryan fell to the turf at the crucial moment. And now McKenzie for the Hawks, top of the goal square. He goes for territory. But guess who? Big bad Bruce Revel takes it 50 from home. He looks into the corridor now. He's got an option out the back in Archie. He flew high, couldn't quite. They scrap for it at ground level. Weddle there. So too Ryan. They don't want to take possession of the footy. Scrimshaw. Newcomb gets it out to Sicily. They shout around by hand and they'll clear the area now, the Hawks.
So a kick outside defensive 50 and Moore's marked. So he trots back with a footy.
This is where Brisbane got to be real mindful. They've gone high with their high forwards, but they've got to be mindful they don't get at the back.
Blood rule.
Now the kick's been delivered, but we've got a blood rule.
Back there. Thank you. Hawthorn.
And it'll head down towards Peter Hooley down there, but the game has stopped. 1 point up at Brisbane. 15 minutes first term. It is more, is it? Coming off the ground, it is more. Down to you, Pete. Bob Jane T-Mart said it is more coming off with a bit of blood, bit of claret.
Yeah, he got a cut above the left eye, it looks like, and whether he topped a knee, we'll have to wait for a replay, but a couple of players been falling down in the middle of the field. We know there's been a game yesterday, a little bit of soccer games on as well. Besides that, it's a pretty good surface.
Sicily, long kick to the wing, Gunston off hands, hand pass Ginnivan. Ginnivan's got a real open forward line here. The ball delivered, Hardwick flew one-on-one, couldn't complete the mark, and the Lions jumping in numbers. Grabbed by Fletcher, goes back by hand. Bailey now a high kick back outside defensive 50.
Danaher the target, the frost ball with a spoil. Couldn't quite grab the handle there, and then McDonald left it behind. And on the bottom of that one, Ginnivan tackled by Berry. 45 out from the Hawks' goal.
And that was a perfect example of the Hawthorn forwards getting in behind the actual Brisbane line defenders. They need to keep doing that and keep pushing with that. Hawthorn.
Ball up, Danaher. Warple there, so too Dunkley. He sucks it back in and they fight for it like kids in a schoolyard.
You're spot on, Jono. It's that next phase is the kick. So making sure that you're putting the kick to space or doing it to advantage of your forwards. Ginnivan just missed that one there.
It's Hardwick. Handballs to Guinea. Good little spin. Gave it to McKenzie. Bit of time and space. Sizes up the big sticks. Kick on its way. It's good. Hawks hit the front, 2-1-13. The Lions 1-2-8. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard, 16 gone first term.
Well, Says, you mentioned it about sort of the 12-13 minute mark of this first term that Hawthorn look dangerous inside their forward 50. They've got space and they've got time. The Brisbane line defenders are just sagging off a little bit, and Ginnivan could have almost pulled the trigger as well, but he's seen McKenzie out of the corner of his eyes and released him, and he was almost going to give the handball and then realised that he had all this space and just measured it up beautifully and then sort of just pulled the trigger, and that is what Hawthorn have been doing early in this first quarter. He's actually giving opportunities and being up and about inside their forward 50. That's the difference between both teams at the moment, and we know Brisbane Lions, their connection with their midfield and their forward line have struggled, where Hawthorn, they've been good for the last month or so.
For McDonald's and Ream Hotwater, Triple M Rocks footy. So the Hawks hit the front, 5 points early in the match, and both sides have started pretty well here. Lohman off hands grabs it, nice hands towards Charlie Cameron, drilling passes good towards the leading forward. No mark taken by Zorko. Danaher back of the pack, tried to punch it out towards Dunkley. He's tackled, goes to ground. Frost got in the way. D'Ambrosio, the former Bomber, grabs it. He's tackled, dragged to the ground in the back pocket. And the umpire's going to ball this up.
You just had to mention the Bombers, didn't you?
Sorry, I just popped into my head. Still a bit, sort of half in French.
So deep in attack here for the Lions. 3 quarters, I'd say. Nash out of the stoppage. Just goes off the deck, out the back. Knocked forward. Picked up Mitchell. Got it back to Amon. 719 metres gained last week, and he bombs this one long again. Off the pack and out of bounds on the outer side.
But if Hawthorn had won, we're not playing this. We've got Hawthorn Brisbane Lions here, right? Let's get it right.
It's all right, Dono. They're on everyone's time.
But if they actually got the ball outside the back there in Hawthorn, they had someone streaming in the forward half of their ground, and they would have been the only one. So they're really playing high half forwards at the moment and playing the rest of their tall forwards up the ground as well.
McInerney got it down to Neil. Low drop punt to Archie's good, and he marks boundary side. He's about 70 from home for the Lions. Got a leading forward, and he hits him up nicely, beautifully.
Yeah, one more metre, that's it.
So it's Morris who's got it, and Morris is about 60 metres out. Kicks now, McInerney's floated forward, brings it down to Dunkley, tap down towards Danaher. Well, the kick smothered, goes straight up in the air, punch down to Zorko, standing start 48, just throws it onto the right boot. Long ball towards goals, it touched on the line, it is. 2 players wrestling in the square. Looked for a second, was going to go past Charlie Cameron. It didn't.
Keep coming out.
And a behind to the lines. 139 they are. 2-113 the Hawks.
And says the reason, if they're playing high half forwards, Hawthorn, that means that they're just crowding up the 50, and that's what teams have done to Brisbane in the last few weeks. If they're crowded up the 50, obviously not last week against Richmond, but they need to pull their forwards out and isolate them a little bit more, Brisbane.
Warple steps around McCluggage and then handballs boundary side to Chol. On the left boot down the line, that's a good hit up. Finds Gunston, who's tightrope in the boundary, cuts this kick back inside. Day leaks forward, dishes off. McDonald pins the ears back and misses out to the left.
Could have been almost pushing it back then as he had a shot there from McKenna.
Keep coming.
So we just ticked into time on in the first term. Hawthorn 14 leading the Lions 9. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Peter Hurley, Bob Jane team. March, how's young Dylan Moore going?
Yeah, he's all good. He's been given the thumbs up by the doctor. It was a couple of minutes extra trying to get that strapping. He's got the mummy treatment around the head, but they're just trying to keep the left eye open, the strapping right across the eyebrow. And after the game, you'd probably assume that all that hair is going to be gone, but he's been given the thumbs up and he'll be ready to come on soon.
So the Hawks can re-enter here after the Lions try to work it out their defensive 50, but McKenzie in a turnover has taken a mark. Off hands, front and square was Ginnivan, and he got smashed in the tackles. Zorko, the last tackle, got caught high. And the umpires paid the free kick. Ginnivan 15 out directly in front.
It's nearly one of the only free kicks he'll get, but it was a high. Saw the arm go around his neck, and he's about 15 metres out from goal. Straight in front, had a little smirk on the way down too.
I think you had a bit of a smirk too.
Harvey Norman replay, there it is. Harvey Norman furniture and bedding, floor stock clearance, huge range of lounges, dining, mattresses, bedroom furniture and more. Price to clear, hurry limited time. And Jack Ginnivan directly in front, pops it home, and the Hawks have got another one. He gets his first. And the Hawks go to 3-2, 20, 11-point leaders over the Lions, who are 1 goal, 3-9, all happening on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
And Ginnivan got the free kick there, but what I did like from him is he had movement around the stoppage. So there was the ball was brought to ground, Ginnivan crumbed the ball, and then he was able to move through that. So he was always at pace, always making a move, which makes it hard for the defender to get you.
And that's right, the movement, but how can you allow someone as dangerous as Ginnivan 10 metres out from goal, be unopposed, being able to get front and square and just take the ball, and then be able to think his way through the tackle as well as it was coming through. So that really is alarm bells for the Brisbane Lions defence, where they need the man up. But for Hawthorn, that is a great sign that they're actually on top of the defence of the Brisbane Lions.
Back in the middle for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, and the umpire's whistles just failed there as well. The old P's got caught.
Red Z lending stats. Jack Ginnivan, 5 disposals, 3 scoring involvements and a goal. Big start from him. Second highest ranked player on the ground. Only player high, Jack Gunston, against his former side, of course. 4 touches, 3 scoring involvements and a goal for him as well.
There's a scrap and shoes at ground level. We'll have another ball up right next to the centre circle.
Just there.
Tell you what, Leroy back in the
Guys,
studio
hold the
might just
meter.
put on another
Hold the
hot dog, another batch of gems. We thought he was going to have a big day here today, but he's going to set himself up
Sausage rolls.
as they go forward. Everything.
Air fryer.
Air fryers working a double time as Day was held after he took the mark. The umpire says he can't do that. 50 metres against Zorko, which will take Day right to the top of the goal square.
He's still getting over the high tackle, poor old Zork.
And Dave from point blank range nails it home. The Hawks have got their 4th. They extend their lead to 17 points here at Marvel Stadium on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Well, the hoodoo still continues at the moment between these two clubs. Hawthorn, for the last 4 times that they've played each other, have been able to get the wood over them. And even when they were last year grand finalists, they were able to beat them at the MCG. And even now, they look like the better team, says. They look like they're more coercing with each other, working with each other. That ball there was a little bit less to go, a little bit of space to Day. Day went up and took the mark, and then Zorko trying to do the professional hold up and actually go the 50 away. That's 2 goals straight up against Zorko's name.
And straight out of centre clearance too as well. It's when they win the ball from the source and they're getting it forward, looking really dangerous.
Triple M C-Bus Super Special comments. The great Chris Johnson with the great Sarah Hosking this afternoon for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M rocks footy, bounces good. Moore dives on top of ground level. Neil ran past the footy. Opportunity for the big man Meek. He runs onto the ball. Low drop punt towards the forward pocket for the Hawks. It's a bouncing footy that heads to the boundary line and goes out of bounds, which couldn't be controlled by Cal Shadir. Bob Jane team, Peter Hurley.
Josh Weddle's just gone down to the rooms. Copped it, looked like a knee to the eye, to the right eye. Dylan Moore was the left. This was just below the right eye for Weddle. It's got a nice little bump there. I don't think it's concussion related. Went off, it looked like to try and fix a contact lens down in the rooms.
As Newcomb takes the dump kick from Zorko. Right on the perimeter here. He looks spine. That's a good option. He's got the Indigenous superstar out there in Impey, who looks inside. He had a lead on from Gunston. He goes there now, but he's pulled down the mark 49 from home, slight angle.
And he led all the way from the goal square. He's taken the ball right on the 50-metre. The journey will probably challenge him in his leg here at the moment, but I think at the moment the Lions just need to man up a little bit and just be on their men, especially the back six.
He's approaching game 250 next week as he sends it long and deep. He's tugged it going for extra distance. Ball stays in. And then Day lays the tackle on Leicester, carries him across the line, one behind. The Hawks, they just continue to pile them on, 4-3-27. The Lions 1-3-9. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Dane Zorko, highest ranked player on the ground in 2 of his last 3 games, 4th highest ranked in the other. Currently 44th dead last on the ground, 4 disposals, couple of free kicks against.
They do need the ball in his hands. If they're gonna go ahead and win this game today, they do need the ball in his hands. They need to get him up those rankings.
Lions just chipping it around inside their defensive 50. They're back to full back with Payne now. After about 4 or 5 possessions. He went to Zorko, missed him. Giard flies behind him and marks for the Hawks. He's on the boundary 50 metres out. I think at about 55 when he walks back. So GF looks towards the goal square to the hot spot, but elects to square it up across the 50-metre line because Amon made position, and he's on a far better than 45-degree angle where he's marked.
That was clever. That was clever because where he was, where he's put the ball now into Amon's hand, Amon will get this journey quite easily on his left foot. He's a great shot on goal.
So Carl Amon, he settles and starts to trot in the left foot drop punt. It's a real dart, low, half-post high drilling ball, but he got it on the instep of the boot and went out on the full. So no change to the score. 4-3-27, the Hawks, they've started well. The Lions 1 goal, 3-9, and we're 26.5 into the first term.
Outside 5.
Well, Peter Hooley down on the boundary today for Bob Jane Seamarts. They've got great buy, 3 get 1 free plus instant cashback deals. Call or shop online today. T's and C's apply. Of course, he was a superstar at the Melbourne United. Great to have him on board today.
Melbourne United.
It's Archie, long and strong down the line. The big nest. Morris was there. Ball to be won at ground level. Lohman handballed it to McCluggage under pressure, and he's tackled on both sides. Impey looks at the umpire and says, how about a free? Nothing doing. Ball up on the outer wing.
And just on the change of direction there, the Lions went across to the outer side, and what it was, Hawthorn's numbers got over there quicker, and that's why they've held this ball up here.
High tackle late on the outer side wing. Free kick will go to the Brisbane Lions. And they play on very, very quickly. Hand pass comes up to McCluggage. He's kicked the half forward, and Sicily read it beautifully in front of Rayner and took the mark. Choice Hotels around the ground, Zeke. Big games this afternoon.
Yeah, straight after this, we're heading to Adelaide Oval. Crows v the Eagles. Also today, Melbourne v St Kilda. I think that's why Tim and I might be separated. Baz sitting behind us at the moment. Big clash between us.
He dirties up Tim, doesn't he, if the Saints get rolled?
Can't look at him today, Barry.
Absolutely dirty.
No, you haven't.
No, can't look at him in the eye.
He's a happy sort of bloke.
It's a game day.
I can look at you.
There's Day. Back with the flight, takes the mark, neutral territory on the outer side. He cuts the kick back into Amon. Loopy handball now to Nash. We've got players leaking to the fat side. The kick's a bit too heavy for Moore. He's going to arrive on the scene. A little bit of help there. Newcomb ducked into the tackle. No, it was McDonald.
Against Zorko again.
And against Zorko, how many free kicks has he given away this quarter?
That's a second free kick against. Also conceded a 50-metre penalty that led to one of Hawthorn's 4 goals. So not a great game from Dane Zorko at the moment.
How are you feeling when it's like that out there?
You can't win.
You know,
Yeah.
So put me on the bench for 5 minutes.
Yeah, he needs to have a spell. Go and have a spell.
So McDonald in game 52. He's kicked 9-9 for the year. He sends it top of the square. Moore nearly pulled it down. He went for the snap, but the diving lunge from Leicester. Experience pays off. Ricochets out of bounds, right next to the behind post. Attacking end for the Hawks. We've only got just over a minute left here, Barry, in this first term.
The difference between each team here at the moment is Hawthorn are on the same page. Brisbane Lions are completely not on the same page.
got a bit of work to do, the Lions. They've got to keep the momentum going if they're going to charge towards the finals. Because it was a slow start to the season. From the boundary throw, and we'll have another ball up. Still about 25 out from the Hawks goal. They search again. They have a handy lead at the moment. 27 plays 9. The Hawks lead. Latter stages now. Just a minute to go in this first quarter of the match. A ball in the air. Midfielders pile on top of the pill. Players just stand around the pack with their arms up in the air, staring at the umpire. And the umpire just ignores them all and says, let me just throw it up again and give you one more chance. Tosses it now. Big McInerney slaps to the side. Berry in the van. Wilmot, little kick out of the pack. Weddle put a fist on it over Danaher. For the ball, Giath grabs it. Danaher lays the tackle. Got him in the back though. Big Joe rode him into the deck. And Giath got it about 55 out from goal with 34 seconds on the clock. Big Tim.
Go the top here, Jono.
Yeah, why not? There's only 30 seconds to go. Someone's got to get out to him.
Wind up, CJ. He opts for the drop punt. He puts it at the top of the square. Tier flies. Ball came Andrews. At the spill, McCluggage. Got it to Loman. Emerald back, Berry bumped on the kick. That's almost worked out, but tumbled out the back. Frost, anything could happen here, but he does it well. Got it to Amon, sends it back inside 50. Coming across Leicester, had the arm chopped. Ground level Moore, as always, puts his snout over it and then knocks it out to space. Andrews could have been ridden in the back. And the siren saves the Lions there as they were stalking again, the Hawks. A big 4-goal-to-1 first term here at Marvel, and they lead 4 goals, 3-27. The Lions 3-1-9. Sarah Hosking in the house. Chris Johnson, Ethan Meldrum, Barry Denner, Tim Solly, and Peter Hawley down on the boundary. That's your Sunday afternoon call team. For McDonald's and Room Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy.
That quarter for Beacon Trade, helping tradies light the homes of Australia. Beacon Trade, let's make light work.
For McDonald's,
Triple M rocks footy.
The new Feisty McSpicy range at Macca's. Things just got feisty.
Harvey Norman Furniture and Bedding floor stock clearance on now. Hurry in for big savings on selected floor stock fabric and leather lounges, dining room furniture, office desks and chairs, outdoor furniture, barbecues and more. Massive floor stock clearance on selected mattresses, bedroom furniture, kids furniture, pillows, quilt covers, cushions and more. All priced to clear. Race in for incredible deals on selected floor stock with quick delivery available. Now's the time to buy. Harvey Norman Furniture and Bedding floor stock clearance. Limited time only. Hurry.
Give yourself a holiday boost with up to 10% off your next break when you book direct at choicehotels.com. Boost your well-being, boost your energy, boost your happiness. Whether you're craving a coastal road trip or rainforest adventure, Choice Hotels has over 170 locations across Australia and New Zealand. Plus, you'll get the lowest price guaranteed when you book direct at choicehotels.com. So go ahead. Book it with Choice Hotels. T's and C's apply. See choicehotels.com for full details.
Amy's Only in Australia files. When it's backyard cricket season and the umpire, who's also your mum, calls no ball. But that's irrelevant because now her brand new bay window is smashed. That's when you know the lucky country isn't so lucky. So it's
lucky you're with Amy.
Before buying home building insurance issued by Amy, read the PDS and TMD at amy.com.au and consider whether it's right for you.
Hi, Rodney Jane here. We'll help you find your fit at Bob Jane T-Marts. Want a free tyre? We've got Bridgestone, free. Yokohama, free. Kumho, free. How? Simply buy 3 and the 4th tyres free. Plus up to $200 instant cashback on selected Bridgestone, Michelin, Continental and Pirelli tyres. We won't be beaten with our best tyre price guarantee. At Bob Jane T-Marts, we'll look after you.
T's and C's apply.
Ready to kick goals on and off the field? You need Employment Hero. From hired to retired, it automates all the pesky parts of HR, recruitment and payroll. Plus, it comes with Smart Match, an AI recruitment tool that matches you with top candidates instantly. Imagine never having to search for people or post a job ad again. Join the 300,000 businesses using Employment Hero to tackle employment admin and get your business back in the game. Search Employment Hero today. It's employment solved.
Hey, there he is. How's dad life?
Phil, I'm so tired, but it's the best.
All settled in with everything?
Yeah, pretty much. Switched my super over to C-Bus too.
What's that got to do with your kid?
Oh, well, I really got to make sure this hard work pays off now. You know.
True.
C-Bus Super, making hard work pay off since 1984. To consider if C-Bus is right for you, go to cbussuper.com.au for PDS and TMD. Past performance is not a reliable indicator of future performance.
blah, 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 blah.
Cut through the background blah to hear more of the sounds you want to hear with Specsaver's advanced hearing technology.
He gives it everything he's got from outside 50. It's a goal!
Book a hearing appointment with our audiology professionals for high-definition sound at low Specsavers prices. Always follow the directions for use.
Shut up! The footy's on Triple M!
Triple M rocks footy.
This quarter for Titanium Caravans. Stay off-road and off-grid for longer with a luxurious Titanium Caravan. Visit titaniumcaravans.com.au.
Quarter time here at Marvel Stadium. The Hawks, they were electric. 4 goals, 3-27. The Lions, 1 goal, 3-9. Hot water need replacing. Go for one that's steady, hot and strong. Ask your plumber to install a ream. We've got Sarah Hosking in the back row with Chrissy Johnson. Ethan Meldrum on the Triple M Red Z lending stats. Some of the stats that just relay that dominance for the Hawks in the first term, Heath.
Yeah, they had 15 of the last 18 inside 50s, 15-3 from the 7-minute mark of the first quarter. Brisbane, we were talking about that ball movement. Brisbane kicked the first goal of the game from defensive 50. Not once from their last 11 attempts did they manage to chain the ball from defensive 50 to forward 50. Hawks' best team at defending it in the competition, of course. Carl Amon, 10 touches. James Sicily, 9, leading the way. Will Day, number 1 ranked player, 8 touches and a goal. Lockie Neal, the most for Brisbane, with 7 disposals.
Good stuff, Heath. We'll head down the boundary for Bob Jane Team Arts. They've got great buy 3, get 1 free, plus instant cashback deals. Call or shop online today. T's and C's apply. We've got the electric man down there, Peter Hooley.
Not too much to report besides those 2 eye injuries for the Hawks. Dylan Moore got the cut above the left eye. He's taped up, gone back out there, nearly kicked a nice snap before it was smothered. And then Weddle copped on the other eye, but just below it. It's got a nice little shiner that he'll have tomorrow. But other than that, it's nice down here on the boundary. Fags is coaching from the interchange bench, and he's pretty calm in the back end of that quarter. I'm sure that spray wasn't too calm, but let's see how they respond in the second.
They must have known Halls was down there because they got the Slim Shady music just cranking in the background as we introduced him. That's right up his style. Cool, calm, collected. Sarah, Jono in the back row for Seabus Super. That first quarter just really great from the Hawks.
Yeah, 100%. Especially those first 5 minutes, they looked a little bit shaky, but the last 15 in particular, they just dominated. As Heath mentioned, it was their inside 50s. They dominated contested possessions as well. So Will Day, Sicily as well. Good to see him back after his shoulder. He's doing quite well down back.
For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy, we start the second quarter with the Hawks leading by 18 points, and they work it out of the centre first. Warple turns with the footy and then bounces a kick towards half forward. Payne got there first for Brisbane. Kick back here to the wing in hope, and Lohman took a nice mark. Little hand pass off Dunkley, and he plays on and goes long to half forward, and a nice mark taken by Ryan. Hand pass off towards Cameron. Cameron from 50, and he's hooked it slightly, and a low ball has gone through for a point. 1-4-10, plays 4-3-27 the Hawks. Seconds into the second term, and that's on the Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
And he seems like he's playing a bit higher in this game. The last couple of games he's been playing deep forward, but today Charlie Cameron playing right up the ground.
Long and strong there from Weddle out of the square. Gets to the broadcast wing. It's Answorth who got it to Zorko, who cuts the kick back inside to the Irishman McKenna. Checked the kick a couple of times, then a darting ball's been cut off Scrimshaw. Day there, almost ran into Scrimshaw, then Berry claims him in the tackle. Sits on top, looks at the umpire, he says no prior. We'll have a ball up inside the centre square. A minute gone, second term. They'll lead here by 17 points, the Hawks, as the umpire having stern words with the ruckman. Says get out of the way, he tosses it up, it's tapped down to Newcomb, got it to Warple, sweeping around the back here. Day was almost legged, takes a bounce. Oh, he's just an electric player, exciting to watch. Handball wide, D'Ambrosio, MP almost got wrapped up. Got the handball back to Warple, who measures it wide to Ginnivan.
Ginnivan's got it, he's halfway between wing and half forward, and he standed and waited for the leader. And that was brilliant from Ginnivan, he just held it up. And the lead to about 40 metres out, and the mark's been taken by Deere. And Deere will go back and have a shot, a set shot on a better than 45-degree angle.
Well, the inside forward entries are a lot better. They're +8 at the moment, and they just look a lot better. They look like they're not all leading at one spot. All their forwards are leading in different patterns.
Cal Shadir, he settles with a footy to the left of our broadcast position. It's come off the boot sideways. Well, it came off the boot, but it came off sideways. And went very right and was slapped through for a point. 4-4-28, not the result he wanted. 1-4-10, you reckon?
Is that you enjoyed that?
Second term I did, it was funny. Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
They work their way out of here, the Lions. Zorko, little 1-2, and then a low flat kick down the line. They're just stagnant here. They can't get any flow on the ball here, the Lions, as Berry.
And it's because of the Hawthorn defence. They're flooding back so quickly and just they want to come through the corridor. They've been able to close those options up for the Lions.
Dunkley's forced to kick all the way back to centre-half back. As Payne completes the switch now. Answorth bumped on the kick, puts it to the hot spot. Flew early there, Weddle. And then Sicily, look away, handballs, turned it over. Coming his way through was Morris. Well done, young man. Found some time and space, snapped over the left shoulder, and he gets the all-important first goal of this second term. The Lions 2-4-16, Hawthorn 4-4-28. Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard, stay off road and off grid for longer with the luxurious Titanium Caravan.
You know what I liked about that, Jono, was the build-up. You mentioned that Brisbane were struggling to get the ball forward, but what they did, they changed lanes, they moved the ball to the other side of the ground, and then they just got an entry inside 50 and allowed their forwards to get to work. It was a bit of a turnover from Sicily, but if you've got the pressure around the source and around the contest, you'll generate some momentum.
It was a double whammy. It was one of the Weddle that went up for the mark. It should have taken it, let it at the back, and then Sicily heard a call at the back of his right shoulder and sort of just a handball went straight out to Morris, and he was able to snap it. But fundamental mistakes there by Hawthorn's back line.
For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy.
You're right, John.
I don't know what I said.
It is a Sunday.
Line.
Two separate words.
Yes.
Back and line. So, McCluggage, bottom of the pack. He snuck it underneath by hand, but Amon was in the way. Hand pass off to McKenzie. And McKenzie, long drop punt inside forward 50 for the Hawks. Punch down to ground level. Good tackle laid by Chol. The ball still spills. And players from both sides dive on top of the pill about 53 metres out from the Hawks' goal on the outer side of the ground.
And it really comes back to the forward lines at the moment. Both Brisbane Lions forward line, Hawthorn's forward line, they're working good, but Hawthorn's forward line are working much, much better and much harder than Brisbane's.
Meek bends down, picks it up, gets it to Day. He is building beautifully. Scrambly ball. Moore with the clean hands. Got it up to Newcomb, who was bumped on the kick at the last moment. There was enough pressure applied because he's put it out on the fall to the right-hand side. No score registered. 4-4-28 the Hawks, 2-4-16 the Lions. Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard. Stay off road and off grid for longer with the luxurious Titanium Caravan.
Thank you, Tim. As Andrews out of the back pocket goes for the long drop punt out to the outer side wing. Off hands to Big Joe. And Danaher takes a bounce and runs. Hand pass to Dunkley. Back to the big man who ran on. Goes short to Berry, fall to the wing outer side. Berry turns and delivers nicely to McCluggage. Kick was partially smothered. McCluggage had to put his head over it. Ball slapped out of his hands. Now we've got about 4 or 5 Hawks around it. Sicily gives it to Warple by hand. Hand pass to McKenzie. Short pass to Meek. And he marks on the wing outer side of the ground.
Big Lloyd, that's not his best effort. He bit too heavy there for McDonald. Well done, McDonald. Went back. Hunted Zorko. Clamped him. Umpire says no. I'll have it.
Thank you.
So we'll have a toss in. About 60 around here from the Lions goal. Left of your broadcast box. Travelled 6 in the second term. Hawks leading by 12 as the ball back in. Front and centre there was Warple. He's taken down on the kick. Dunkley picks up the scraps and belts it down the line. Spore came Sicily. Day racks up another one. Handball wide for McKenzie. Low flat one in and Chol takes the mark, sliding to the turf. 40 from home.
Will Day's starting to have a really big influence on this game again. He's in another chain. And again, that transition through the midfield. He's just being able to get his hands on the ball but continue to run and carry with it.
And they're a much better side with him in it, aren't they?
Absolutely.
He just looks, but he looks smooth, and the way he enters the forward 50, and we've seen it a little earlier, their forward entries at the moment are precise, Hawthorn.
2 goals last week, 11 goals, 8 for the year for Marbior. Kicked 44 a couple of years ago for the Suns. They need that scoreboard impact from him. He leans back, and the goal umpire doesn't move. Charles flushed it home for his first for the afternoon. Hawks get their first for the second term. They're 5-4-34. Lions 2-4-16. Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
Well, we've seen the turnover at half back there, and from Berry a little earlier, but they're getting the numbers to the ball. They're actually working when the ball gets loose and it's out to an uncontested possession. They're actually getting numbers across there, and sharing it and using it well and putting a teammate into a better space to deliver the ball forward.
Spot on. Their pressure is creating turnovers. Again, Sicily just with the spoil there, but it was the midfielders that are there in day to turn up and then grab the ball and move it forward. Looking strong and looking dangerous.
Back to an 18-point lead, the Hawks. Nice work from Chol there on the Harvey Norman replay. Harvey Norman furniture and bedding floor stock clearance. Huge range of lounges, dining mattresses, bedroom furniture at the moment and more. Price to clear. Hurry. Limited time only. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy. Tap down towards Warple. They can go again here. Hand pass to Big Meat. Gives it back to Warple by hand. Low drop punt inside forward. 50's good. And Moore's taking the mark. And he's about 40 metres out, virtually directly in front.
And the centre clearance. It was a centre clearance straight away. All the Brisbane Lions got attracted to the ball and they just kept their width. That's what they've done most of the time when they've won the ball in a tight scenario. They just kept their width. They rely on the individual to go and win the ball and then disperse the ball outside.
So Moore settles, runs into 45. Drop punt is magnificent. And so are the Hawks at the moment. Hawthorn 6-4-40, 2-4-16 to the Brisbane Lions, 8.5 second term. That's all on the Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
Well, Heath, if you can give us the stoppage count at the moment, especially for this quarter, but if I'd be watching at this centre clearance who goes in for Brisbane. At the moment it looks like Lockie Neal, but I have a feeling that they've lost the last few stoppages for this quarter, and that is exactly where Hawthorn's dominating.
Yeah, spot on, Seth. 5-1 the clearances so far in this term. Scores from stoppage as well. Not normally a strength of Hawthorn. 4 goals to 1 generated from stoppage for the Hawks so far in this game. Will Day leading the way in that regard. 11 disposals, number 1 ranked player. James Warple, 10 disposals, 6 already in this term. Number 1 clearance player on the ground.
They haven't beaten the Hawks since 2019, the Lions. Talk about bogey sides, Jono. Do you believe in that?
Yeah, for sure.
And they led here by 24. This is going to be Warple again out of the centre. He's streaming forward. And then a low daisy cutter onto the chest of Joel, who takes it 40 out directly in front. Will go back to kick his second.
And it's about momentum. Momentum is all in favour of Hawthorn around the contested possession. In the middle of the ground, the Brisbane Lions need to go man on man and try and lock them down as quick as they can, because at the moment this scoreboard's going to get out of hand very, very quickly.
Just not organised.
No organised at all.
So Joel to the left of your radio dial. And for 3 goals in 3 minutes for the Hawks to get the margin out to 30 points. He gets it done. The Hawks have caught fire here at Marvel on a Sunday. They're 7-4-46. The Lions 2-4-16. Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
Well, again, another one from stoppage, another one from centre clearance. It was actually Lockie Neal that got the ball cleanly, but he just did the no-look handball, and Warple was able to run straight out of the front of the contest. And that kick, when you're hitting a forward at that low, this ball didn't move any more than 10 metres. So it is as low as anything. There is no way a defender can get that, and that's perfect delivery to Chol again.
Well, they need to lock in here and go man on man. It's 6-2, I think, if I'm correct, at this quarter or throughout the game in the centre clearances.
Yeah, 6-2 for the game. James Warple's 10 minutes in this quarter, 8 disposals, couple of broken tackles, 3 clearances, 2 goal assists. Huge quarter from him.
That's massive, isn't it? Triple M Red Z letting stats there from Heath. And the bounce has gone outside the circle, so momentarily the Lions can take a breath, because the Hawks are absolutely slicing them open in centre clearance at the moment. Let's see what happens here. The ball thrown in the air. Meek slaps behind him. He's looking for Warple again. This time Newcomb streams through the pack, breaks a tackle, hand pass to Meek. He kicks long to full forward. Hardwick caught behind, and Leicester on this occasion has taken the relieving mark at fullback for the Lions. But again, they're sliced apart in the centre of the ground, the Lions.
As they look broadcast side, Dunkley in a one-on-one with Warple. Good mark.
He's good in that
Fantastic.
scenario. Josh Dunkley, very, very good in the one-on-one scenario above his head.
He's protected the drop zone. Clamped it as he cuts back inside about a 7-metre kick. Finds Wilmot, who's indecisive. They don't know where to go here, the Lions. They're shell-shocked as he goes down the line. Newcomb there, off hands. Ryan had the one-arm pin. Lohman picks it up, darts it inside 50, and Cameron pulls down the mark, 25 out. Slightly worse than a 45-degree angle.
Well, that's what we haven't seen from the Lions. Win it off half back and bring it in and then just win it at half forward at the source. They haven't been able to win contested ball at the source. They were able to do it there through Lyman, and just a nice kick to the weighted side of Charlie Cameron just to push off his opponent there to take a nice chest mark.
5 goals last week against the Tigers to get himself back into some form for the first for the night, and a much-needed goal. He leans back, it starts right, and it stays right. One behind. 2-5-17 the Lions. Hawks 7-4-46. Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
Heyman from full back delivers 40 metres to Day, who marks on defensive 50. Short 20-metre pass to Ginnivan. They're on the broadcast side here. Ginnivan stands flat-footed. It's too short to Nash, but it's punched back to Ginnivan from half-back. He just goes with a long sideways barrel towards forward of the wing. But Scholl goes up, doesn't mark it. The fall of the ball was McDonald. A hand pass will come back towards Day. Then to Warple. Broke 2 tackles, had too much time. Hand pass off to Sicily. He has time to set up inside forward 50. And that was brilliant again. And the mark has been taken by Deer. And Deer's about 45 metres out. On this occasion, he's about 10 metres inside the boundary broadcast side.
James Warple, you cannot lay a finger on him at the moment, or he has created at least 6 missed tackles in this quarter. He's been outstanding. He's just got the awareness with the space around him and to alleviate and then dish it off to a teammate who in a better position to put the ball forward.
Set shot for Deer. He's hooked it. Does it come back enough? No. Yes, it's close. It's on the line. And he's got it. Another one to the Hawks. It swung left and then came back. And cheap as the Hawks are, well, it's official. They're on fire. 8-4-52. The Lions in all sorts of froth and bubble here at 2-5-17. 14 and a half into the second term on the Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
Yeah, Brisbane need to step up their pressure here. So it's either pressure and win the ball at the source, or again, pressure creates turnover. At the moment, they just haven't been able to get their hands on players. As you said, Jono, it's Warple. He's got time and space that he's turning around. He just has so much time when he has the ball.
Red Z lending stats. 10 disposals for the quarter now for James Warple, 5 score involvements, only 2 broken tackles. I reckon he's been stiffed by Champion Dana. Third most in the competition for James Warple, by the way. Harley Reid, Chad Warner, the only 2 players ahead of him.
Kick the last 4 here, the Hawks. They lead by 35. McDonald's and Ream hot water. Nash picked it up, coughed it up to Lyman. Handball's back out into space. The big O. Took him a time to get it to the boot, to the ball. It's a tumbling one up to the 50. Here we go, Rayner. Handball's off to Cameron, who's corralled by CJ. And he works him across the line, right where the 50-metre arc meets the boundary. Attacking end here for the Lions. They need to hit the scoreboard.
Heath's just backed me up. Last 10 minutes pressure. Hawthorn 244, Lions 162.
That's big numbers, Heath. 244. What are we talking about stratosphere-wise?
Oh, AFL average is 180, so that's well and truly up in the stratosphere, Baz.
That is
a bit like you, Barry.
Yeah.
A bit like you at the moment.
As airborne as you are, Baz.
We've got in the stratosphere a bit in the last few weeks. Nice up there. Ball's thrown in the air. There's a big pack sort of sits on the footy out. McKenzie wins it for the Hawks. He just kicks a high one outside defensive 50. Andrew's got a big fist on it. It'll come back in, though, for the Lions. A quick kick back inside. Frost caught behind Big Joe Danaher. Couldn't complete the mark. The ball bounced the boundary line. Lohman's got it. Slipped over as he went to kick it, and McKenzie claims it. Hand pass to Amon, and he runs out of the back pocket for the Hawks.
Bombs it long to the outer wing. Back with the fly. Gunston takes the mark. Handballs it off to Sicily. The next link in the chain. Joel. The handball didn't quite get to him, so he just toe pokes it forward to grass. Coming off his man Payne. Now, mop up here, Zorko fans the kick wide. And a steady head now.
Outside 5.
In Fletcher. He just looks up. Not a lot on offer, so goes short to Bailey. Right on defensive 50.
And that's the work of the defenders. Everyone pushing up as the ball moves out for Hawthorn. They're closed off all the exits here.
Now Berry. Little drive-by here from Bailey. Gives it to him. Tight ropes the boundary. And then a long drop punt to the 50. Front spot there was the big O. Knocked to the front. He was square there, Scrimshaw. Got the handball to McKenzie. Went the don't argue on Lohman. And then he was collected high in the process. So free kick to Mackenzie right on defensive 50.
So Mackenzie will kick back to full back where Amon stands alone. He's at 15 metres in the clear of any other player. But he's kicked the Frost on a 3-on-1 against him. It was spoiled, so they're in near the lines. Neil had it. Hand pass comes back to Bailey. Runs around Frosty. 70 from home. Goes to the pocket of Charlie Cameron. Had the sit. Leapt in the air and he's marked 20 metres out. About a 45-degree angle, maybe a little bit worse than that, but he'll square himself up for a shot.
First time we've probably seen a real decent inside repeat forward 50 for Brisbane. And there, all the Hawthorn players were chasing the ball out, think it was going to go out, but it was turned over. Well done to Ainsworth to find Cameron in the forward pocket.
Urgently needed goal for the Hawks. Cameron for his first. He pops it home. Hooks across the body. They've got 3-5-23 Brisbane. But the Hawks on 8-4-52. 18 minutes into the second term on the Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
Yeah, much better from Brisbane, as you mentioned, Jono. Again, it was another one of just an unforced error from Hawthorn. But when they are getting those turnovers, Brisbane's looking dangerous. A really, really good kick. I can't see who it was on the replay, but great kick to Ainsworth. Yep. One-on-one with Charlie Cameron. And again, straight across his body, but hit him lace out. No pressure, no one on Charlie Cameron either. So, you know, you give him time and space and he'll do something special with it.
Sarah Hosking in the back row today with Chrissy Johnson.
Let's go. Out of the circle.
Unlike your Richard Gere, Julia Roberts set up back there today.
We'll take that.
Supers.
And what have we got in the front row?
Oh, well, this is a motley crew, isn't it, Baz?
We got Chad Morgan here.
Chad Morgan. And, Barry Humphries. The McDonald's and Ream Hot Water Triple M Rocks footy. It's going to be the Lions. Archie goes back to Berry. Sends the cup. Kick up inside 50 off hands. Numbers here with the Hawks. Impey streaming. Handballs it off. D'Ambrosio, low flat one. Took it on the bounce. Big Lloyd. And then he handballs it up. McDonald goes for the inside out. Check side inside 50. Ball hits the deck. They pile on top. Gunston tries to suck it out of the hands but can't. The umpire says I'll have it. 25 out from the Hawks goal.
That was well done by Meek. Just thought his way through the tackle. Zane Dorco came around, tried to wrap him up, but he was able to get the handball out.
Dangerous territory here for the Lions, and Oscar McInerney just took responsibility in the ruck at full-back, tapped it to himself, then kicked outside defensive 50. Advantage paid for a Hawks free kick. Impey picks it up 50 out, hooks it and kicks a point. Hawthorn 8-5-52, 3-5-23 the Lions. Bob Jane Teamarts, Pete.
James Wample getting a well-deserved rest on the interchange right now. Pulled up a little ginger, it looked like, from a tackle, but he's all good. He's just taking the big ones in.
Sloppy stuff from the Lions out of defence here. Thanks, Pete. As they go outside 50 now and Lyman.
And that's all because of the Hawthorn pressure. The Hawthorn pressure of their forwards and their midfield is extreme at the moment. They're doing so well. They need to keep it up for the rest of the game.
Chrissy Johnson and the Seabus Supers making hard work pay off since 1984.
84, good year.
Great year, Baz. We're at neutral territory on this broadcast side. Sicily mopped up by Neil, who cuts through the traffic, got it to Lyman. That's a scrappy ball. It might work out as Archie goes back to Neil. He darts a high one inside 50. Big one-on-one. Rebel was there, claiming the mark. Joel, no, nothing coming. That was Giath. And the umpire says I'll have it. 40 out from the Lions goal. 6.5 minutes left in this second term. Hawks leading by 30 points on the Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
Thrown in the air is the footy, and I tell you what, there's about 12 people. I don't look at Charlie Cameron trying to work his way through the pack. He's held up, and there'll be another ball up.
Just interesting, Cam Rayner, just the one possession so far in this game, and we're almost approaching, we're just approaching half-time, so he needs to get to work.
30 points up the Hawks as the ball's pushed back towards Impey. Tackled, lost it. Big Frosty's got a bit of work to do. He's tackled over the boundary line. The umpire will give him the benefit of the doubt. Boundary throw-in.
Speak of, that was Cam Rayner who just laid an amazing tackle. Arguably could have been given a free kick for it.
Oscar Lloyd, kick them later.
It's a ball in deep in attack here for Hawthorn. Right here, radio dial. 21 and a half gone second term. Hawks by 30. Ball hits the deck. Hitting it at pace. Good tackle there. It was Mitchell. Then Archie got it up to Danaher. Sold some candy. Got himself into a pickle. Gave it out to Bailey, who also sells candy on more. Lines up the big sticks. And kicks the goal. Great response there from the Lions. Bailey gets his first. And they move to 4-5-29. The Hawks 8-5-53. Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
And there was a bit of ball movement there from Brisbane. You can see Hawthorn were just trying to apply the pressure. They worked their way back to come forward, and Zach Bailey just being able to put the Jets on, run past two players and a great kick from about 45 metres out.
And they had players outside the perimeter, didn't they? And as they worked it out through Archie and Danaher, well, Bailey, first week back for a while, he's had a bit of a spell. Didn't play last week or the week before, but that was just all class off a few steps. He assessed the situation, knew that there was space outside, got around the Hawthorn players and just went bang from outside 45.
Chris Johnson and Sarah Hosky in the back row. Triple M Seabus Super special comments. And from McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M Rocks footy bounces good. And the ruckman just tapped it to their toes and the midfielders.
And for the Lions to get on top, this is what they need, Sarah. They need some repeat centre bounces or clearances as well, or ball ups.
Warple's got it. Berry lays a tackle.
Spot on. That's when Hawthorn have looked so dangerous. They've got on top of the game is when they're winning the ball at the source, generating momentum forward. Lions have started to put a few extra numbers around the ball, congest it, and try and get it open.
Well, McInerney's thumped it about 20 metres the Lions' way. Mitchell comes out for the Hawks, punts it out to Warple at half-back, and he kicks towards Gunston, forward to the wing outer side of the ground. Went through his hands to Hardwick, overran the footy. Allowed Wilmot in, he was tackled. Hand pass went straight up in the air. Player burrows his head in for the footy in Zorko, but the umpire will ball it up. About 65 out from the Hawks goal.
And the contested possessions are very even, so what the Lions need to do to get themselves back in this game, and it's not that too far out of reach, is just man up and just win the ball at the source.
Warple at the stoppage, dishes up to Ambrosio on his left, top of the square. A good mark back with the flight Payne. He'll fan the kick wide to Leicester. They'll exit D50 now. McCluggage has it at right half back. He looks down this broadcast wing and then a little three-quarter kick down the line. Cameron played for the free and he'll get it against Damon. And the Bronx cheers from the local fans. So we've got just under 5 minutes left in this second term. Lions have kicked the last two. Breathe some life back into the contest as Cameron goes inside. Wilmot gave it to the Irishman McKenna, who toe pokes one out to Neil. Handball wide here for Cameron. Loads up on the right, into the pocket, and Morris, like a big steam train, takes it in the breadbasket. 40 from home, 10 metres in from the boundary.
He's playing a different role, Charlie Cameron. He's been down deep at various times this quarter, and now he's come up the ground and delivered that ball. Followed that ball. It was a dangerous kick in the middle, but followed that ball up and just delivered that ball beautifully inside his forward 50.
Just 19 years of age, game 4. He's 191 centimetres tall. He's a likely prospect. We've got a good look at this one from the box. He points to the sky straight away. The young man has flushed it home. Morris gets his second. The Lions get 3 on the trot. They're 5-5-35, trailing the Hawks 8-5-53. Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
Yeah, much better build-up from Brisbane as well. You mentioned Charlie Cameron. He's starting to have a bit of an influence on the game. Lockie Neal was the one that opened that up. Saw Charlie Cameron out on the wing on his own. Quick little handball out, and then it just opened the game right up. And as you mentioned, Jono, if you're getting a delivery into inside forward 50 like that, Morris, he stands at about 190 centimetres, but it was straight on his chest. No chance that his defender can get that.
And he's come in, he's really filled the role for Link McCarthy being out. He's came in a couple of weeks, he played a reserves game and came back in, and now he's actually really he's kicked his second goal for the quarter, but actually giving the Lions a focal point and spreading himself from the other forwards as well.
For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. McInerney wins it in the ruck, kicks it out of the centre, but Impey at half-back marks for the Hawks. Kicks across half-back broadcast side to Sicily.
So the other thing now says is the doubt within Hawthorn's mind. Obviously last week they were fair way in front, so that starts to come in now. And then I'm no doubt at all that the coaching staff will be mentioning this to the Lions at the halftime break.
Sicily just popped it towards the wing boundary side as Newcomb dives on top of the footy and happy to slide out of bounds with it.
Especially in the last 10 minutes, though, Brisbane have increased their pressure. They're a lot more forceful at the ball, forceful at the player, and they're actually starting to generate some of those turnovers through their pressure.
What is that pressure gauge rating, Heath, while we're talking about that?
Last 10 minutes, Brisbane's pressure 249, AFL average 180, of course.
It's gone up a lot. Waxing lyrical, you two. Well done. Hardwick Massimo D'Ambrosio gets it out wide to Sicily. He decides to retreat back to the Frost ball. Has it in the left back pocket.
So each team playing a spare behind the ball. For Hawthorn, it's Hardwick, and for Brisbane Lions, it's Wilmot.
The big ruckman on the wing, and this time McInerney puts on a clinic. Says, Lloyd, that's how you do it. He looks up and then just strikes the pill. It's a high 7-iron to the 50. Danaher flew early. The tackle by Hardwick. Weddle got it up to Sicily. Back to Massimo D'Ambrosio. He got it to Amon, who handballs to Sicily. A driving drop punt back out to the broadcast wing, and Andrews does what Andrews does always and spikes it 6 rows back. So 2.5 minutes left second term. Hawthorn 53, Brisbane 35. They've kicked the last couple of goals here, the Lions.
Big 10 minutes from Oscar McInerney as well. 8 of the last 9 hit-outs. Clearances 6-1 in that time. Oscar McInerney himself has won 4 of those for Brisbane.
And big Os goes again. Meek in front of him brings it to ground. Neil got in the way on that occasion of Warple, but he's lost it, dispossessed. Hand pass comes out today. He dances around the wing for the Hawks. Hand pass back to D'Ambrosio. Runs around, dummies around one. Drops it towards half forward. He wanted Ginnivan, but dropping back with the flight of the footy was Andrews. And he marks on defensive 50. Drilling pass inboard to Zorko, who's at half back. There's a cross half back to McKenna, the former Bomber, and he goes short to Rayner. And Rayner at centre half back drills it to Berry on the outer side wing.
He does just that, Baz. McCluggage, handball over the top. They build here, the Lions. McKenna, the former Bomber, cuts the handball back inside McCluggage. A right foot ball up the half forward. It's all numbers with the Hawks though, and Hardwick takes the relieving mark.
They look like they're more structured at the moment, the Lions. You're right, Says that you said before. They look like they just settled themselves into the game a little bit more. And now they've gone man-on-man all over the ground. They've pushed Wilmot up to the ball where they had a spare and Hardwick down in their forward line. So now they've gone man-on-man everywhere.
And when they're controlling the ball, they're using it, moving it by foot, a little bit more of that uncontested style game at the moment.
Still at half-back here for the Hawks. Hardwick. He kicked 5 last week up forward. He has it in the back line. He drives long for territory. It's a big nest of players. The ball came off hands. Ginnivan went low as always in the tackle. He didn't milk the free that time. So ball up on the outer wing. Just under a minute left in this second term. Hawks leading here by 18 points. Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
Thrown in the air, as Big Tim said, and immediately slapped out of bounds right next to the boundary line. So a boundary throw-in will ensue on the true wing position. As BT calls it, neutral territory. And with seconds left to go in the second term for the half-time break, an opportunity for both sides here. Who can set up? It's punched out of the pack Brisbane's way 20 metres, but Impey's in front of McCluggage. A little hand pass off to McKenzie for the Hawks. High kick to Child, who led off half forward. Didn't mark, back of the pack. Ginnivan sees it bounce his way. Hand pass to Warple. Kick inside forward. 50's all right. Back of the pack, Deer runs onto it. Lester's there as well. And the ball beats both players out of bounds. Hugged up against the point post in the right forward pocket. An 18-point lead to the Hawks as we approach half-time here at Marvel Stadium.
Hardwick has just dropped way behind the ball at the moment, sitting almost at centre half-back.
Deep in attack here for Hawthorn. Meek to the front. Wilmot there, got claimed by Chol. Not sure how the ball came out. And then Gunston was collected high. So Jack will go back in the dying seconds of this second term to get the margin back out to 24 points.
Yeah, just sloppy tackle there by, I think it may have been Payne or Wilmot, one of the two, but just sloppy there. Gunston just went lower and harder than both of them.
The first goal of the game for the Hawks. To the left of your dial. Right on the halftime siren here at Marvel. Gunston threads his second home. And it's been a dominant first half here from Hawthorn. They're leading 9-5, 59. The Lions 5-5, 35 here at Marvel Stadium. We've got an all-star cast here with Sarah Hosking, Chris Johnson, Ethan Meldrum, Barry Denner and Tim Solly calling the action. And down on the boundary for Bob Jane Team Arts, Peter Hooley. It's your Sunday Arvo call team. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy.
That quarter, for titanium caravans. Stay off-road and off-grid for longer with a luxurious titanium caravan. Visit titaniumcaravans.com.au.
For Ream Hot Water,
Triple M rocks footy.
hot water needs replacing? Go for one that's steady, hot and strong. Ask your plumber to install a Ream.
Tradies, gear up for winter with Hard Yakka. We're redefining toughness for the colder months. Our new winter range for men and women is here, featuring a huge selection of ultra-warm jackets and vests ready to shield you from the elements. And our iconic 3056 tradie boot, a must-have for the season. Every item crafted for durability and outstanding performance. So get your winter gear sorted at your nearest stockist or visit hardyakka.com. For the Aussie legends of today, Hard Yakka, nothing's tougher.
Install a Ream. Install a Ream. Install a Ream.
For the hottest of hot water you've ever seen. Ream comes on steady, hot and strong. It just keeps on and on.
Ream's been proudly manufacturing here in Australia for over 80 years.
Install a Ream.
Install a Ream.
Install a Ream.
So ask your plumber for Ream, Australia's #1.
What's on your Aussie bucket list? Sitting around the campfire on a beach at Exmouth after fishing all day? Exploring the tip of Cape York or the bottom of the Eyre Peninsula? Do it all in a titanium caravan. Australian-made, Australian-owned, superior quality and ultimate comfort. With titanium caravans, you can go off-road and off-grid in total luxury. Experience titanium caravans for yourself in their Epping showroom or visit titaniumcaravans.com.au.
At Bunnings Trade, we can help you get the win with Power Pass. Get exclusive prices on heavy hitters like AEG, Makita, DeWalt, Pazload, Bosch and loads more. Break through the pack with fast checkout through the Power Pass app. Get end-to-end support in-store and over the phone. And pick up the bill with flexible payment options, including cash, credit or a 30-day account. Back the winning team. Sign up for Power Pass today. T's and C's apply. See website for details. Bunnings Trade. Helping business is our trade.
That's right, buddy. Mitsubishi Heavy Industries Air Conditioners is giving you up to $500 cash bonus and supporting Heart Kids Australia with every eligible claim. This year, they're celebrating 25 years of designing quality products with unrivaled reliability, superior performance and cutting-edge technology. So it's no surprise they have the highest levels of customer satisfaction. Put your trust in Mitsubishi Heavy Industries, the experts in air. Terms and conditions apply.
Harvey Norman Furniture and Bedding floor stock clearance on now. Hurry in for big savings on selected floor stock fabric and leather lounges, dining room furniture, office desks and chairs, outdoor furniture, barbecues and more. Massive floor stock clearance on selected mattresses, bedroom furniture, kids furniture, pillows, quilt covers, cushions and more. All priced to clear. Race in for incredible deals on selected floor stock with quick delivery available. Now's the time to buy. Harvey Norman Furniture and Bedding floor stock clearance. Limited time only. Hurry.
Give yourself a holiday boost with up to 10% off your next break when you book direct at choicehotels.com. Boost your well-being, boost your energy, boost your happiness. Whether you're craving a coastal road trip or rainforest adventure, Choice Hotels has over 170 locations across Australia and New Zealand. Plus, you'll get the lowest price guaranteed when you book direct at choicehotels.com. So go ahead. Book it with Choice Hotels. T's and C's apply. See choicehotels.com for full details.
Shut up! The footy's on Triple M!
Triple M rocks footy.
This halftime break for Specsavers. Was that the halftime siren? Or did you just get a text? Don't miss a thing with Specsavers Audiology. Book a hearing appointment today for high definition sound at low Specsavers prices.
Yes, the Hawks have looked good here this afternoon against the Brisbane Lions. It's Hawthorn who lead the game at the moment at half-time by 24 points after leading by 18 points at quarter-time. It was a 5-3 second term for the Hawks with a goal right on the siren for Jack Gunston who kicked his second. This is the half-time break for Specsavers Audiology. What was that, the half-time siren, or did you just get a text? Don't miss a thing with Specsavers Audiology. Book a hearing appointment today for high-definition sound at low Specsavers prices. Chris Johnson, Sarah Hosking are in the house this afternoon. Firstly, Ethan Meldrum The Triple M Reds then letting stats. And the late goal, they lead by 24 points, the Hawks.
Yeah, and a lot of clearance dominance as well so far for the Hawks. It may not look it on face value, 21 clearances to 18, so they're +3 in that regard. They've gained nearly 400 more metres from clearance. They've kicked 6 goals from stoppage already in this game. Brisbane with just the 2. That's already Hawthorn's 3rd highest return of the season to half-time. So it's a big number from then. Also dominating the territory because of that 31 inside 50s to 19. That figure was 6-2 Brisbane's way to start the game. So since then, 29-13 Hawthorn's way, all being played up their end. 8 goals straight from set shots as well. So dead eyes in front of goal. Brisbane not so much. Couple of misses to their 5 goals 5. Leading players on the ground. James Warple, 17 disposals, 13 in that term alone. Couple of broken tackles, couple of goal assists. Sicily, 16. Amon and Day, 15 apiece. Will Day, number 1 ranked player on the ground. 7 scoring involvements into goal to his 15 disposals as well. For Brisbane, Lockie Neal, 15. Started to pick up the pace late in that second quarter. Josh Dunkley, 14 disposals as well. Couple of low numbers for them as well. Cam Rayner, Jono called it out, just the 2 disposals to half-time. Hugh McCluggage as well went 25 minutes without a disposal in that second quarter as well, averaging 26 a game this season, so he probably needs to step up as well.
It's a building side, this Hawthorn side, isn't it? They were magnificent last week and went down in heartbreaking circumstances. But up against, the runners-up from last year, they've put it on here again this afternoon at Marvel. The Lions have got a bit of work to do.
Yeah, spot on. And I think that's the beauty of a team like Hawthorn at the moment. You're a young side, but as soon as you start to get a little bit of confidence, you can really do anything. And you saw what they did against Port Adelaide last week, just in those dying seconds. But can they sustain it for the whole 4 quarters as well? And Jono mentioned it before. It's kind of in patches at the moment. So they dominated that first part of the second quarter, and then Brisbane were able to take the reins a little bit. So, for me, is it your Day, your Warple? Do you need other players around them? Sicily standing strong at the moment down back, but how do you get more players involved more often?
And what it all comes down to too is the inside forward 50s. The way Hawthorn is entering inside their forward 50 is quite phenomenal compared to what Brisbane are kicking it to packs, where Hawthorn are actually kicking it to lead. They're actually leading patterns of their key forwards, and some of their smaller forwards are a lot better. The marks are about even as well, but the way they're getting it in there is a lot more easy, and it's under pressure. You spoke about the clearances, Heath, as well, and you said they're around even, but it's the way Hawthorn are coming out. They're coming out through the front door, and especially the centre clearances. They've come out the front door a couple of times, especially in that quarter and in the first quarter, and that's where it really breaks down. It breaks down around the inside forward 50s and the way they're exiting their clearances. And the uncontested possession, there's only 12 difference, but I feel Hawthorn at the moment are getting out to a lot more space. And I think what they need to do, where you spoke about Cam Rayner, Heath, I think what I would be doing is, so when you need to get somebody to him, he needs to impact the game somehow or somewhere. He needs to go in the middle of the ground, or he needs to actually go back or go onto a wing, because at the moment, at the forward line, the way the ball's it's only coming in there 19 times, and it's not coming in there any time soon or any quicker or any sort of how would I say it? It's not coming with any flow. So he's finding it hard to get on the end of it.
Talk about sides that, are at that other end of the ladder, I suppose, that we look at season in, season out. But I'll tell you what, if you're a Hawthorn supporter right now, you'd be pretty excited about the young group you've got that are developing, wouldn't you?
Oh, for sure. Like you look at how much Will Day has added to this group, and what is he in his 3rd year now? And then you've got some of the younger types as well. But the one guy that hasn't really fired for me today on Hawthorn, which is an older guy who has fired the last couple of weeks, is Hardwick. He's had a few possessions. He kicked about, I think since gather round, he's kicked a few goals. He's been swinging forward and kicking. He hasn't fired as well. But some of these younger guys, Deere, obviously Jack Ginnivan, we know all about him. Meek is in there as well. He's had his 39 games or so this year throughout his career. But yeah, there are some younger types that you should be able to get excited about. And it's more around who's going to replace Sicily when he retires, and then when Frost retires as well. So you want to sort of get some of those keys. And Warple, what a superstar he is. But the one that for me in the back half is for Hawthorn is Weddle. In the last month or so, he's been really, really good. He's really lifted up his game.
We spoke about Weddle too a few weeks ago, and we did give him a new nickname, wasn't it? The frill neck lizard, because he reminds me of a lizard, because he runs and carries. Yep. He's got the same kind of style. If you let him unleash or give him a bit of time and space, he generates that momentum for
very
Hawthorn.
Straight back sort of.
A little bit, a bit straight. Frill neck, or what are we going? Blue tongue lizard.
Blue tongue lizard. We know something.
Choice Hotels around the grounds.
Blue tongue.
Choice Hotels around the grounds with Heath. Whatever your reason for travelling, you'll get the lowest price guaranteed when you book direct at choicehotels.com. So go ahead and book it. Just do the right thing. Heath, what's happening?
Straight after this, Adelaide v West Coast. Big game for that. Adelaide, of course, need to win to get back into the top 8. West Coast in pretty decent nick. Knocked off Melbourne last week.
Very good
of course,
form.
by 5 goals. Yep. Harley Reid the star in that game, of course.
Oof.
Melbourne also playing across town at the MCG. They take on the Saints. Bit of a concern. Twitter was lighting up everything. Max Gawn was doing a fitness test. All sorts of strapping on his calf in the centre of the ground. He has been named to play. Keeping an eye on that one, of course, he's got Rowan Marshall in that game. One of the Premier Ruckmen in the competition himself. So Max Gawn ticked off no late changes in that game as well.
Well, here it is a 24-point lead at half-time to the Hawks, but we've done nothing wrong in the first half. So, of course, Amy Clangers is a half-time segment. Clangers happen. Lucky you're with Amy segment, that'd be. Thank you, Heath. Let's see what they've dished up for us at half-time here today.
Just a handball went straight out to Morris, and he was able to snap it, but fundamental mistakes there by Hawthorn's back line.
For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks Footy.
You're right, John.
I don't know what I said.
It is a Sunday.
Back line.
Two separate words. Back and line. Two separate words, don't I?
Yeah, that's right, man. So I didn't know. I was watching the game at the same time, and I forgot about what I was saying, so I had to add in the back line.
Yeah. 9-5-59. Now the Hawks and the Brisbane Lions are 5-5-35 at half-time here at Marvel Stadium. The great Chris Johnson with Sarah Hosking here this afternoon looking after things. Ethan Meldrum is on fire. Peter Hooley downstairs. And Big Tim Solly will be back very shortly. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks Footy.
That halftime break for Specsavers. Was that the halftime siren, or did you just get a text? Don't miss a thing with Specsavers Audiology. Book a hearing appointment today for high-definition sound at low Specsavers prices.
For Ream Hot Water and McDonald's,
Triple M Rocks Footy.
Baz, for almost 40 years, Seabus Super has been making hard work pay off.
Spot on, Tim. Since 1984, the Growth My Super investment option has returned an average of 8.89% per annum for its members.
So whatever hard work you do, Seabus Super are making your money work as hard as you.
Seabus Super making hard work pay off since 1984. Find out more at cbussuper.com.au.
And remember, past performance is not a reliable indicator of future performance. Read the PDS and TMD to decide if Seabus is right for you.
Amy's Only in Australia files. When it's backyard cricket season and the umpire, who's also your mum, calls no ball. But that's irrelevant because now her brand new bay window is smashed. That's when you know the lucky country isn't so lucky. So it's
Lucky you're with Amy.
Before buying home building insurance issued by Amy, read the PDS and TMD at amy.com.au and consider whether it's right for you.
Hi, Rodney Jane here. We'll help you find your fit at Bob Jane T-Marts. Want a free tyre? We've got Bridgestone, free. Yokohama, free. Kumo, free. How? Simply buy 3 and the 4th tyres free. Plus up to $200 instant cash back on selected Bridgestone, Michelin, Continental and Pirelli tyres. We won't be beaten with our best tyre price guarantee. At Bob Jane T-Marts, we'll look after you.
T's and C's apply.
Ready to kick goals on and off the field? You need Employment Hero. From hired to retired, it automates all the pesky parts of HR, recruitment and payroll. Plus, it comes with Smart Match, an AI recruitment tool that matches you with top candidates instantly. Imagine never having to search for people or post a job ad again. Join the 300,000 businesses using Employment Hero to tackle employment admin and get your business back in the game. Search Employment Hero today. It's employment solved.
Hey, there he is. How's dad life?
Phil, I'm so tired, but it's the best.
All settled in with everything?
Yeah, pretty much. Switched my super over to Seabus too.
What's that got to do with your kid?
Oh, well, I really got to make sure this hard work pays off now. You know.
True.
Seabus Super, making hard work pay off since 1984. To consider if Seabus is right for you, go to cbussuper.com.au for PDS and TMD. Past performance is not a reliable indicator of future performance.
Cut through the background blah to hear more of the sounds you want to hear with Specsavers advanced hearing technology.
He gives it everything he's got from outside 50. It's a goal!
Book a hearing appointment with our audiology professionals for high-definition sound at low Specsavers prices. Always follow the directions for use.
Tradies, gear up for winter with Hard Yakka. We're redefining toughness for the colder months. Our new winter range for men and women is here, featuring a huge selection of ultra-warm jackets and vests ready to shield you from the elements. And our iconic 3056 tradie boot, a must-have for the season. Every item crafted for durability and outstanding performance. So get your winter gear sorted at your nearest stockist or visit hardyakka.com. For the Aussie legends of today, Hard Yakka, nothing's tougher.
For the hottest of hot water you've ever seen. Ream comes on steady, hot and strong. It just keeps on and on.
Ream's been proudly manufacturing here in Australia for over 80 years.
Install a Ream. Install a Ream.
So ask your plumber for Ream, Australia's #1.
M Sport. Lift your footy game with a listener. Download the app now and listen for free.
Hey, it's Matt Layton with you. Gold Coast coach Damien Hardwick has called for quicker whistle blows from umpires to ensure players' safety following their 29-point loss to Carlton. Dimmer highlighted the danger of delayed calls, referencing an incident involving Mac Andrew and Charlie Curnow. Carlton's Michael Voss also plans to address umpiring concerns.
We'll follow some up. Yeah. I don't say that often. I've never sat in here, but we've got some things to follow up because either clearly we're not getting it right, or we're educating it wrong.
And Rafael Nadal has hinted he may extend his playing career. That's despite speculation the 37-year-old would retire following the French Open. The 14-time champion, set to face Alexander Zverev in the opening round, expressed his unwillingness to retire just yet.
It's a big chance that's going to be my last Roland Garros. But if I have to tell you it's 100% my last Roland Garros, sorry, but I will not, because I cannot predict what's going on.
The most unbelievable stories you've never heard.
Are you serious?
Sports Bizarre.
I'm quite exhausted.
Download the Listener app to listen for free.
Clear conditions this afternoon at Marvel Stadium. Right now at the ground, it's 16 degrees. The Hawks hold a 24-point halftime lead over the Lions as Triple M rocks footy.
Shut up! The footy's on Triple M!
Triple M rocks footy.
This quarter for Bunnings Trade. Bunnings Trade is helping you get the win this tax time with huge deals on top trade brands. Get in before June 30.
Halftime break for Specsavers Audiology. Was that the halftime siren or did you just get a text? Don't miss a thing with Specsavers Audiology. Book a hearing appointment today for high definition sound at low Specsavers prices. Entertaining contest on our hands here. Hawthorn have got out the blocks hard. They're 9-5-59. The Lions 5-5-35. We've got Sarah Hosking in the house with Chrissy Johnson. But yes. Ethan Meldrum, for those of you that just joined us in their cars on the way home, some of the big stats from that first half, please.
Yeah, all clearance dominance from Hawthorn so far in this game. They rank 16th in the competition for scores from stoppage. Only a couple of teams worse than them, Richmond and North Melbourne, and we know where they are on the ladder so far this season. Again, the clearance is pretty even, 20-19, but 6 goals they've kicked from stoppage, all out the front of stoppage, as Jono was saying. James Warple leading the way in that regard. He's got the 5 clearances. Jai Newcomb's got 3. Connor Nash has got 3. Will Day also is the number 1 ranked player on the ground, playing for the midfield with his 15 disposals. So it's that Hawthorn midfield that's on top at the moment, Tim.
This third term, the Bunnings Trade scoreboard. Bunnings Trade's on your side this tax time. Check out the catalogue in-store online for the latest redemption offers, new ranges and great value kits from heavy hitters like AEG, DeWalt, Makita and more. Get in before the siren sounds on June 30. Tax time sorted with Bunnings Trade. Chrissy Johnson, who wins from here?
Well, I think we're going to be in for a tight one. I think the Lions are going to they've reassessed at halftime. They're going to make sure that they're going to go man on man, especially within these stoppages, as what Ethan spoke about, how Hawthorn are actually getting out of these centre clearances out the front door. And I think they're just going to lock in and just get the ball forward rather than be so, finessing around with it and trying to get the best clearance. They're just going to lock it down as quick as they can here, the Lions. I think it's going to be a close one, and I'm going to go with my guys, the Lions.
We'll make things interesting. I'm going to say Hawks.
I think Sarah feels pretty comfortable saying the Hawks.
It's all right. Jono's just a big teddy bear.
It's all good.
For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy, and we get set to start the second half here. As the big fella said, but the Hawks up by 24 points. And they'll kick to the right of our broadcast position in this third quarter. The bounce goes in, and that's a good one. So we're underway. Big Meek tried to tap it down towards Nash. The ball went to ground. Newcomb put his head over it. Big Oscar McInerney, the ruckman, dove on top of him. And the umpire's going to ping him at the bottom of the pack for not trying to get the ball out. So it's going to be a free kick to the Lions, and that's to Lockie Neal.
And that's a win. That is a massive win for him. Just the mental win of not getting that centre clearance out for Hawthorn.
Neal runs away from the pack and drives a long ball towards full forward. Big leapers, no mark. Massive pack back of the pack. Charlie Cameron grabs it, runs into Carl Amon. He lays the tackle. The umpire this time will ball it up about 20 metres out from the Lions' goal.
So going man on man everywhere at the moment. No spares behind the ball for the Lions.
Hold the meter. Thank you.
So ball up. Meek and McInerney. Down Lohman. Was claimed in the tackle immediately by Amon. Ball up again. 25 out here from the Lions goal.
They're too stagnant here, the Lions. They need to get someone spitting through.
McInerney taps boundary side. Meek roves it though. Coughed it up to Rayner. Smothered off his boot. Cow's ball. Cameron carried to the turf. Well done. Shoal flicked it out. Weddle went the handball. Probably could have got boot to ball. But they'll get it outside the 50 now. The big fly came through there from Payne. Dunkley. Handballs towards Neal. Fumbly. Closed down Giat.
In the back.
And he got one in the back in the process. So Neal will have it at right half forward for the Lions.
Bob Jane teammates, Peter Hurley.
Just keeping an eye on Chol coming out after the halftime break. Got a lot of strapping on the left wrist and hand, it looks like. Didn't seem to bother him too much in that contest, but he's been a big impactful player in the first half, so we'll keep a watch.
Thanks, Pete. Neal drops it inside forward 50 just, and a good mark taken by Berry, who led out to forward 50. And he's got this about 48 out. Hand pass off to Big Joe because he's going to lope away with that big left hoof. And he's hooked it. As he missed everything, though, he snuck it in for a point. He snuck it in for a point. 5-6-36, the Lions 9-5-59. Well, the Hawks a minute and a half third term. And the scoreboard brought to us this quarter by Bunnings Trade.
He must have manned the ball a lot, Joe, in those scenarios. I would have backed Berry. Berry would have kicked it from just on 40, but he was still going backwards before he received the football. I think he should have let Berry go back and have that shot.
Scrimshaw finds Amon, who exits the 50 with the kick to Ginnivan. Long way from home at left half back. He just winds up and goes for real estate. Front spot there, Meek. 1-2, not paid. Front and centre there was Zorko. Handballed it out to Lohman. Retreats by hand to Neal. Off a couple of steps, bombs it long inside 50. Numbers with the Hawks. And he was held off at Cameron. He's got a free kick. And he'll go back to kick his second for the afternoon.
Yeah, he came from a little way back there, Charlie, and just got in front of him there. Just trying to watch the Harvey Norman replay here, but it just hasn't worked out. And I think it was Scrimshaw that sort of just tried to get off and try to get Cameron off the jump. And he looked like he had the big jump at the ball, but Scrimshaw just came across and interrupted him.
Harvey Norman Furniture and Bedding, 4-stock clearance, huge range of lounges, dining mattresses, bedroom furniture and more. As the kick's on its way from Cameron. Starts right and stays right. Harvey Norman prices to clear. Hurry, limited time. Scoreboard reads Hawthorn 9-5-59. Lions 5-7-37. Triple M Bunnings Trade scoreboard.
They haven't hit the scoreboard properly yet, Brisbane, but it is a much better start to this quarter. They're looking dangerous. They're getting a few entries inside 50. And again, they've got some of those players on the move.
Long kick from Amon to the outer side wing. The ball punched up to Nash. Nash runs for the Hawks and delivers the ball inside forward 50. Moore runs with a flight, but it's a bit far for him. Tapped away down towards ground level Answorth. Wilmot's got it. Had it, lost it. Ball spills to Lester. Jumper ripped off. And got caught high, said the umpire. The veteran gets the free kick. Goes real short. Was that 15? No, was that a 50?
No, he's just telling him to put his jumper back on. Lester's jumper got ripped off him in that tackle, so just tell him to put his jumper back on, Baz. That's all, nothing more than that.
So the ball delivered back to Lester. Thank you, Chris.
Didn't want the rig out like you at Europe.
He kicked to the wing to Revel. And he takes the mark for the Lions, and he squares it up inboard. He wants the corridor, and Wilmot's taking the mark on the wing.
Wilmot. He's got Revel sweeping out wide if he wants him. He looks the other side, open side. That's a good option. He goes long and strong. Big run and jump from Danaher. Weddle flew too. And out the back, good mark, Impey. So right on the last line here for Hawthorn. Travelled 4.5 in the third term. They lead this by 22 points. Triple M Bunnings Trade scoreboard. Bunnings Trade is helping you to get the win this tax time with huge deals on top trade brands. Get in before June 30. There's Sicily with ball in hand now. Pumps it long and strong off the hands of Leicester. Front and centre was Hardwick. Trying to duck through the tackle more. Couldn't escape. And the umpire says, my ball.
Thanks, boys.
You're right, Says. The Lions have sort of come out with a mindset where they're not missing tackles as much anymore. So if they're just going to land the tackles, that's good. They just need to get the stoppage.
22-point lead to the Hawks. They're on the wing here. Newcomb's got it. Hand pass, Warples. Ball goes out of bounds.
Again, it's that physicality, the presence, the pressure. As you mentioned, Jono, Zach Bailey just then ability to actually half-lay a tackle and push Warple out of bounds.
Triple M Seabus Super special comments. Sarah Hosking, Chris Johnson. Seabus Super making hard work pay off since 1984. Boundary thrown on the wing. Newcomb off hands. Hand pass to Warple. And he drives a kick forward to the wing. And the whistle goes. Holding free kick to the Lions. Going to be advantage paid. Leicester's got it at half back. Squares it inboard to Zorko. Goes short to McCluggage. McCluggage wants the corridor because he wants Rayner.
And this is where they're good bash through the corridor.
Hand pass back to McCluggage, and he's got a bit of space in the centre of the ground.
Sure does. Sends it to half forward. Back with the flight. Giath. Impey there. The only man to keep his feet. He handles off to the drive-by Sicily, who gets to Massimo D'Ambrosio, who got it off to Giath. Look at him running a wave here. Hawthorn. Newcomb back to Weddle from 55. It's long, but it's out to the left. The lid would have come off Marvel as they built their way all the way from half back by hand, but couldn't capitalise. So 6.5 gone third term. Brisbane 5-7-37. Trailing the Hawks 9-6-60. What's happening, Baz?
Just Andrews just sort of walked out of the square and then realised he had nowhere to go. So he had to double back. And they're out of trouble out of the back pocket. A long kick over to Dunkley. Hand pass off to the running Neil forward of the wing. Brisbane now with a kick inside forward 50. Danaher worked underneath the footy. Scrimshaw in the back pocket claims it for Hawthorn. It bounced into his arms and he's got a good 3-4 seconds before anyone came near him. Had plenty of time, but he's kicked it straight back to Lockie Neal on forward 50. He's got Lohman leading to the pocket and he's got him. So he marks about 35 out on a 45-degree angle, and a real opportunity presents here for Brisbane.
Well, they dominated the last 6 minutes or not. I don't know whether the numbers are saying that, but Brisbane have looked like the better team. They've gone forward once, Hawthorn, and Brisbane Lions have gone forward on a few occasions. They need to work out how to actually get shots on goal, because that's where they're struggling. They're getting the ball inside their forward 50, but not generating shots on goal.
So Lohman starts to wander in from forward 50. He'll kick this from about 38 metres out. Drop punters, three-quarter post tight. He's got it. He's got it. And that's the one the Lions wanted. 6-7-43 they go to. The Hawks 9-6-60 on the Triple M Bunnings Trade scoreboard.
Red Z landing stats, you're right, Jono. 5 inside 50s to 2 this term Brisbane's way. Lockie Neal himself responsible for 4 of those 5 disposals at 100% in this term. Number 1 ranked player on the ground. Brisbane's pressure is lifted as well. Hawthorn's has dipped away. Their pressure factor, I should say, up at 200 points during this game. 142 in this third quarter. It's been such a good measure for them over the last few weeks. 141 now. AFL average there is 180, so it's a very low number for Hawthorn.
So again, and that comes from the midfield, it comes around the stoppage and the contest. Can Hawthorn sustain that for the full 4 quarters? That is the struggle with a young team that hasn't always been able to do it.
Back in the middle here for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M rocks footy on a Sunday arvo here at Marvel. It's a good bounce by the umpire. It's Meek who'll win the tap against McInerney, only as far as Berry. Handballs out the back for Dunkley. A sky-high 9-9 to half forward, and good mark Scrimshaw. Relieving mark at left half back. 9 minutes gone third term as he darts one down the line, a bit too heavy for Moore. Ginnivan will take it on the mount, and then the little drive-by from Moore. Stood up in the tackle, took a bounce if you don't mind. Handballs inside, Massimo D'Ambrosio puts it to the top of the square, and Leicester will take the defensive mark. He gets called to move it on, almost closed down Shoal, and he pumps it high outside 50. Giath seeks comfort in the boundary line. So 17 points to margin to the favour of Hawthorn. We've travelled 10 minutes in this third term. Triple M Bunnings Trade scoreboard. Bunnings Trade's helping you get the win this tax time with huge deals on top trade brands. Get in before June 30.
Footy spins in. Meek slaps it down towards Warple. Close to the boundary. And footy may go over. Neil's right with him. They try to keep it in through Day. Did well, the young man. Hand passed over his head.
He's gone.
The player at the bottom of the pack has gone. What'd you see, Jono?
Yeah, he just dragged it in. He dragged it in just in desperation, Warple there, and then the Lions players just held it in there. The umpire was in perfect position to award that free kick towards the Lions.
So Fletcher out of the back pocket. Goes long. Lohman and Danaher will fly for the Lions. Off hands it spills to Neil. Seems to be racking him up this term a bit, Heath. Lockie Neil.
Yeah, disposal number 6 for the term, 21 for the game now, a game high for him.
Short kick to Rayner. Triple M Red Z Lending stats. Red Z Lending loans for the self-employed. REDZED.com. Squares it up to the centre to Zorko. And Zorko goes short to Zach Bailey. Now he's dangerous. He's always dangerous. He's forward to the centre. His eyes are darting left and right. He goes into the pocket. The leader is the big man Ryan. Couldn't complete the mark. Frost is there. Spills off hands to Lohman. He has a snap from 25 and he's missed.
Charlie, thank you.
He hooked across the body. The Lions, though, they're searching. They're chasing. 6-8-44 Brisbane. 9-6-60 the Hawks.
Brisbane's entry is just a little bit different now. They're isolating their forwards, spreading out, making it really hard for the Hawthorn defenders and having to defend one-on-one.
And the difference is they're going a little bit quicker. They're not as quick as I'd like, but they need to go a little bit quicker inside their forward 50, Brisbane.
Scrimshaw outside 50, knocked out of the hands of McDonald and out of bounds. Interesting, Jono, there was 30 players tucked on that outer wing. Only about 4 on this side. So
exactly, yeah.
They only had one place to go, didn't he?
There was nowhere else for him to go. He went out that side. Jaff was calling for it out this side. He had a one-on-one with Dunkley, but he elected to go out to the outer side.
McInerney manhandles Meek. And then a clearing kick from Day. He's been a bit quiet at the start of this third. As now it's in the hands of the Lions. And looping handball inside for Dunkley. Retreats by hand. Wilmot from a standing start. It's a high ball into the pocket. Danaher there. Off hands. Archie from the pocket. He tumbles one at it. Cameron at the top of the square holding his hands in the sky. But it's through for a minor score. So 6-8-44 now the Lions. Hawks 9-6-60. Triple M Bunnings Trade scoreboard.
So Sicily at full back starts to walk out of the square now. Called the play on. Runs straight up the ground and goes for the barrel. The torpedo punt is forward to the centre, but a ripping mark taken by Harris Andrews over Hardwick. Do you like that one, Jono?
Oh, it was a ripper, because if he didn't mark that or even get it going back the other way, Hawthorn were out.
Harris Andrews goes short to Berry, and now the Lions are pumped back inside again. They're on the charge, Brisbane, in this third term. Punt sideways of the pack. McCluggage just got it. McDonald's all over him. Wraps him up in a tackle. The umpire comes in, looks, lurks, and puts the whistle to the gob.
That's a win. That's a win for Hawthorn and McDonald. That was fantastic because there was 2 Lions by there, 1 in McCluggage and 2 in Cameron, and he just hemmed them both into the boundary line and wrapped that tackle up.
Important moments here. 13-minute mark of the third. Hawthorn are leading here by a slim margin of 15 points. As McCluggage handballs inside to Berry, runs to 55. That's a great ball. Beautifully weighted over the top of the pack. And the man lurking out the back, Lohman, will have a set shot from 20.
I'm loving Lohman's movement in this forward line at the moment. He's dangerous when you're on the move. So his player has lost him a number of times. But for me, it's also Berry. The entry from Berry. Dunkley's getting to work. They're the players that have been, Dunkley's worked hard all day, but other players around him are starting to get to work, and that's what's generating the momentum for them at the moment.
For his second of this third term, Lohman to get the margin back to single digits. Yes, sir. He loved it. He was clapping his hands harder than anyone in the stadium. He loved it off the boot. Lohman gets his second. And at the 14-minute mark of the third, the Lions, they're back 7-9-51. Hawthorn 9-6-60. Triple M Bunnings Trade scoreboard.
Well, they've found another avenue towards goal, the Brisbane Lions, with Lohman. He popped up last week with his 5, and he's got his opportunity this year. He's played 10 games so far, and he's kicked 12 goals. So that's outstanding for him. That's really good for Brisbane, rather than relying on both Cameron, Danaher and the like of Bailey as well, and even Archie. He's been able to pop up for the last couple of weeks.
McDonald's and Ream Hot Water Triple M Rocks footy. Don't forget the new Feisty McSpicy range at Macca's. Things just got a bit feisty there. It is a great range. I'm going to plough through the whole lot tonight on the way home. The bounce is good. Danaher up, slapped down towards Neil as Nash sits on top of him with Warple. And the umpire come in for another ball up.
And that's a win for Brisbane right there again. In the first half, that was just going to go all the way in Hawthorn's favour. They were planning the winner, and Hawthorn were just a little bit too good in the first half.
Big Meat grabs it out of the ruck, just throws onto his boot. Only gains about 8 metres. Hardwick at half forward fighting for the footy, still at the bottom of the pack. Cameron comes through. Warple sees it spill his way. Punts it out to D'Ambrosio. He kicks to the pocket towards Moore. Drop the mark, goes back onto the footy. Boundary side, 25 out, squares it up back to D'Ambrosio. Ball was spoiled. D'Ambrosio goes for it again on ground level with him Answorth. Players from both sides just pile on top of the pill.
And that's the battle for D'Ambrosio there, is that he runs inside to 45 metres. Do you take a shot? He still had a few extra metres to go. Right now, it's happened twice. He's gone for the other option, and then it's created a stoppage.
For mine says he has a ping.
Yeah.
He has a ping every day of the week.
Good tackle there by Nash from that clearance, but the umpire says I'm not rewarding it on this occasion.
And that all comes back to decision-making, where he had an opportunity early in the quarter to have a ping from outside, and in the first quarter as well, and he missed. So Billy doubted himself there.
Meek out of the right, got it to Newcomb. Good diving smother from Danaher, and now Dunkley around his left shoulder. High ball, Sicily box seat. Takes a comfortable chest mark. It's just attacking side of that outer wing for Hawthorn.
Big challenge here for Hawthorn at the moment. They're 9 points up. What do they do here? Do they keep standing up and keep pressuring?
Long and strong. Danaher was there. Front and centre. Gunston pops it to the top of the square. Deer there with Payne. And the ball tumbles across the goal face and out of bounds. We'll have a toss in. 16 and a half gone third term. It's the Hawks leading by 9 points on the Triple M Bunnings Trade scoreboard.
I think you're still attacking 100%. You have to keep going. With the ascendancy that Brisbane has at the moment, it's trying to capitalise and make sure what is it that you can do to stop that.
Meek and Danaher in the ruck, slapped down the ground, little quick kick out of the pack by Payne. And running onto the footy down there is Neville. And he marks it half-back for the line.
And the interesting thing there, obviously Neil is going head-to-head with Newcomb. Newcomb didn't go in the contest there. Neil stayed out with him as well, didn't go into the source of the ball.
Kick to the wing to Lomans, punched away from him, but Lockie Neal was front and square, but he's delivered a half-forward this time, no good, and Frost marks it centre-half-back, and the big man takes a bounce, plays on, and drills a nice pass to Warple in the middle.
He got it to Massimo D'Ambrosio. He sends it along out to the fat side, and Gunston pulls down the mark, 46 from home, 45-degree angle. He's thinking about playing on. There was a little lead on from Hardwick, but he says, no, I'm going to go back and strike this one from 50.
I think at the moment, Brandon Ryan for the Lions is probably being a little bit of their hamstring at the moment. Every time the ball has gone in his area this quarter, he's lost that possession, and from that position there, Hawthorn have a shot on goal.
Gunston breaks the 50. It's high, and it's out to the left-hand side. So a neat 10-point margin now to the favour of Hawthorn. Triple M Bunnings Trade scoreboard, 18-minute mark of the third term.
Bring him out.
Bob Jane teammates, Peter Hooley.
Guys, Lloyd Meek has just gone back to the rooms, came up very ginger from that last marking contest, really struggling to put weight on it. As soon as he went down to the rooms, Luke Bruce got up and started doing a couple of laps, so we'll keep an eye on that one.
Bob Jane teammates have great buy three, get one free. The ball's out of bounds on the wing here, and that is plus instant cashback deals at Bob Jane teammates. Call or shop online at 8 T's and T's apply, Heath.
Red Z lending stats, Lloyd Meek, number one ranked player for the Hawks as well in this term. 3 disposals, 7 hit-outs to Oscar McInerney's 3.
So let's hope he's okay. An important part of this Hawks lineup he is. Tap down to Warple, who's been magnificent. Kick partially smothered by Neville. And the ball will spill this time towards Answorth. Hand pass to Dunkley. Hand pass to Wilmot. Hand pass to Fletcher. Goes back to Wilmot by hand. They're in the corridor here, the Lions. They want the corridor. Kick inside and just over the centre of the ground to Bailey. Bailey standing start. Long ball to Big Joe. Big Joe dragged down, and he's going to get a free kick. Big Joe. It was the chopping of the arms, the dragging of the arm down at ground level, 45-degree angle, and have a shot from 45 metres out.
First thing I done says was look up to see, once they came through the corridor, to see where all the forwards were. Brisbane, they actually separated, which made Sicily there sort of going between both Danaher and Cameron, and he had to go with Danaher because it obviously went there, but he was just in desperate stakes there, and he just pulled him down at the wrong time.
Trailed by 24 points at half-time, did the Brisbane Lions. They've brought it back to 10 points. We're 20 minutes into the third term. Big Joe saddles up. Left foot is good, and the big man's got it. Danaher brings his side to within 4 points of the Hawks. And it's game on at Marvel Stadium. Hawthorn 9-7-61. And Brisbane will go to 8 goals 9-57. And that is all on the Triple M Bunnings trade scoreboard.
Such a critical goal there from Joe Danaher as well. Critical time of the game. This is the confidence that they need. Lockie Neal, your midfielders have been standing up. Josh Dunkley, Berry, they've all been outstanding. Great to see some of those key forwards starting to move. You mentioned, Jono, it's their isolation and separation in Brisbane's forward half at the moment that is helping them generate some of those good options in front of goal.
As you said, Sarah, it's Dunkley, Neal, Berry standing up, and even Fletcher and Lester, and as well as Lohman as well, and McCluggage having a hand in it, as long as and Wilmot as well at the halfback. So their halfback, their midfields, and their forwards are getting involved.
For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. Important clearance to win. It's going to be the Lions. Berry puts it out to grass for Rayner. Oh, the look-away handball. Rebel loads up from 45. Oh, big bad Bruce would have brought the house down, but he's missed to the right-hand side. Just ticked into time on third term. They're coming hard here, the Lions. Hawks holding on by 3 points. Triple M Bunnings trade scoreboard.
Well, they've kicked 3 goals to nothing. Both Hawthorn have had opportunities to kick goals, but they just haven't been able to seal the deal when it's gone down inside their forward 50.
Chris Johnson and Sarah Hosking, not Chris Hosking.
Chris Hosking.
No.
Sarah Johnson.
One of the Hosking twins, the Triple M Super special comments, of course. Chris Johnson and Sarah Hosking and Super making hard work playoffs since 1984.
There was a lot of wine in Europe, wasn't there, Barry?
It was a little bit, Tim. Apparently a shortage over there.
Yes.
Warple out of the pack, kicks it to the wing, out of sight of the ground as Wilmot dives on top of the footy and Chol lays the tackle on him. On the wing, and the umpire will ball it up.
What was happening in the first half is Hawthorn were winning those ones, Baz. When they were getting it forward in those one-on-one scenarios, Hawthorn were winning those, but now Brisbane are just making him into a draw.
Neal from the stoppage, a kick forward for Rayner, ball came Sicily, and then a big tackle laid on Neal. What are his numbers, Heath, in this term?
Lockie Neal in this quarter, 8 disposals, all kicks, 6 of those effective, 5 inside 50s, 4 score involvements out of their 8.
And the last time Hawthorn kicked a goal, please?
Was just on half-time through Jack Gunston. Game-high lead as well. It was 24 points then, 35 points the margin midway through the second quarter. Of course, they led by 41 points last week as well. The Hawks only to lose by a point to Port Adelaide.
Kicked 3 goals, 5 this quarter. The Lions has scrambled forward here, but the Hawks up to half forward. Big ball to win here. Chol had to put his body on the line, took Payne down. The ball loose, out of bounds, 55 around from the Hawks' goal. As Chol got up and said, surely that's a free, I'm going to go back and take it. The umpire says no.
But again, for the Lions, in the first half, Sarah, they were losing that, and Hawthorn were able to go forward. That's a draw now. It gets a boundary throwing. They get the reset again. Without no Lloyd Meat here, they should win this clearance, Brisbane.
Hawks looking to steady here. They're at half forward on forward 50. Can they snap one? Warple's been brilliant, and he wins the contest and squeezed the ball to full forward off hands. Opportunity for D'Ambrosio. In fact, it was McDonald who fired from 30, and he kicked a point. So the Hawks go to 9-8-62, 8-10-58. The Brisbane Lions. Choice Hotels around the ground east. We've got a big game coming up.
Yeah, straight after this, we're heading to Adelaide Oval, Adelaide v West Coast. Also starting in about 18 minutes' time, Melbourne v St Kilda.
Ooh.
Big game. A few top 8 ramifications for that side, of course. Stop looking at me like that, Tim. Melbourne, of course, out of the 8 at the moment. St Kilda 3-7. They need a win as well.
That is a big one.
Broadcast wing, Danaher got the scraps. He handled it out wide for Morris. The man in game 4. He sends the kick up to the 50. Archie flies. Front and centre Hardwick. Clean hands. Got it back to D'Ambrosio, who puts it to the top of the defensive goal square.
Who was that? Who was that again? Big tip?
Settled here through Amon. No idea, Jono. Just rolls off the tongue, that one. And now it's that man again, Massimo D'Ambrosio.
No, it doesn't roll off the tongue. You've been working on that all week. You rang me all week on the phone saying this is kick to the wing out of side of the ground. And a long kick back to half forward for the Lions, and McCluggage has taken the mark, but he's about 70 from home. He drops it to the hot spot in hope. A long, big leap in the pack. Spills to Charlie Cameron on the boundary line. 28, Archie! Big fly in the squares. He toe poking off the ground. No. The ball bounced away from him and rolled through for a rush point. The Lions are on the absolute charge. 8-11-59 they are. 3 points in arrears of the Hawks. 9-8-62.
3 goals, 6 this quarter to just the 3 behinds. To paint the picture that the Lions are well and truly on the comeback trail. They're still trailed by 4 points as Hardwick at right half back. Pumps a high, long ball. Handsworth box seat. Ginnivan was kept out of it.
Yeah, by Zorko, just done it. Didn't despise it at all. It was almost like he tried to shirt front him almost. Umpire was in perfect position.
It's on the Sir Doug Nicholls logo. He sends the kick forward, but only as far as Zorko. The leaving mark on defensive 50. Squirts a short one. He's got Wilmot, who looks back towards Payne. Ball hung for a while, but Deere couldn't close it down. And now Payne will complete the switch out of side. Bruce Revel, and they're not booing him, Barry. They're just saying Bruce.
Thanks, Tim. McCluggage kicks across half back. Fletcher's taking the mark at half back, and he plays.
They're out here, the Lions.
You're out all right forward of the wing. A beautiful kick to Loman, and look at him go. He's had 2 bounces. Runs to forward 50. Can he break the tackle to Giath? He does. Hand pass off towards McKenna from the boundary line. Oh, his eyes bowled out of his head. He's not going to have a crack. And he put it right across the face. And through for a point for the Lions, who continue to chip away at this scoreline. They're 8-12 now. And 2 points in arrears of the Hawks, 9-8-62, all, of course, on the Bunnings trade scoreboard.
Thought McKenna could have done a drop punt then rather than go across the body there. He had all the space in front of him, and he looked like he was going to go there and then went across the body. But at the moment, all the momentum is sitting with the Lions. A couple of missed shots from Hawthorn, but all the momentum sitting with the Lions.
Bob Jane Seamarts, Peter Hooley.
Lloyd Meek has emerged from the rooms, about to check back into the game. Has got strapping from basically his knees on both left and right all the way down. It was an ankle injury while he went to the rooms, but he looks like he's about to get back in shortly.
Good stuff, Pete. Great to have you on the broadcast today. Doing fine work boundary side for Bob Jane Seamarts as we've got a ball in on the outer wing.
Maybe our child just went for mark of the century almost just before, as we were getting that update on Lord Meat. It was outstanding. Got so high, nearly touched the roof.
D'Ambrosio cuts the kick back inside. McDonald. Handball's back off to the run and dash of Amon. Sweeping handball wide for Impey, who arches the back, burns them off. Then from 49, lowers the eyes. And leading up to the foot, Gunston will go back to kick his third.
This will be their first goal. If he goes back and kicks this, will be their first goal this quarter. Lions have had, as I said earlier, a lot of the momentum. He needs to kick this just to steady the ship before 3/4 time.
Hold there.
So he's lining up to snap it across his body on the left. Gives it a decent hook. And it curls back beautifully. Gunston's got 3. And the Hawks, the much-needed goal. They haven't got one since the half-time siren. Extend their lead back out to 8 points on the Triple M Bunnings trade scoreboard.
Critical timing there from the Hawks just to get on the scoreboard. But I love the run and carry from Impey it was that came straight through. He could have, again, another one of those options, Jono, that he could have taken a shot on goal. He ran to about 45, but it was a great lace-out kick towards Gunston there. And again, interesting choice. You know, he does well going around the body. He was about 10 metres in from the boundary and went for that snap across the body and a great kick from about 35 out.
You look good in the Harvey Norman too, didn't it, Sarah? Harvey Norman furniture and bedding, floor stock clearance, huge range of lounges, dining, mattresses, bedroom furniture and more. Price to clear, hurry, limited time only. Get stuck in at Harvey Norman. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. What a ripping game we got here now. The Hawks by 8 points. They answer the Lions' charge in this third term. Latter stages now, under a minute left to play. The ball still fought for in the centre. Fletcher put his head over it. It spilled to Amon. Got it to Giath. Was tackled and lost at McCluggage. Claimed it. Hand pass Zorko. He'll put Brisbane back inside forward 50. Dunkley worked underneath the footy by Scrimshaw beautifully. And Scrimshaw has taken the mark at full back for the Hawks. Drills the ball out very, very wide, and Revel was a chance momentarily And Day claimed it. Hand pass off to Sicily. Another one to D'Ambrosio. And a short kick back towards the wing. Payne spoils. Miku's back on the ground. Spills to McDonald. Hand pass to Ginnivan. Breaks the tackle. Hand pass to D'Ambrosio. And Big Tim, that's your man out there as he dances around.
Sure is. Massimo just nurses this one short. McKenzie releases McDonald, who steps backwards, and then a high ball inside 50. Dear! Umpire says play on. He must have spilt it. Right on the three-quarter time siren. Ginnivan looking at the umpire. A bit of commotion here on the three-quarter time break. And it's an entertaining third term. It's all set up here for a ripping last quarter. Hawthorn 10-8-68. The Lions 8-12-60. It's Sarah Hosking, Chris Johnson, Ethan Meldrum, Barry Denner, Tim Solly, Peter Hooley. That's your Sunday Arvo call team here at Marvel Stadium for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. As always, Triple M rocks footy.
That quarter for Bunnings Trade. Tackle this season with Bunnings Trade Power Pass, the essential addition to every tradies toolkit. Apply today. T's and C's apply. See website for details.
For McDonald's,
Triple M rocks footy.
The new Feisty McSpicy range at Macca's. Things just got feisty.
What's on your Aussie bucket list? Sitting around the campfire on a beach at Exmouth after fishing all day? Exploring the tip of Cape York or the bottom of the Eyre Peninsula? Do it all in a titanium caravan. Australian made, Australian owned, superior quality and ultimate comfort. With titanium caravans, you can go off-road and off-grid in total luxury. Experience titanium caravans for yourself in their Epping showroom or visit titaniumcaravans.com.au.
At Bunnings Trade, we can help you get the win with Power Pass. Get exclusive prices on heavy hitters like AEG, Makita, DeWalt, Pasload, Bosch and loads more. Break through the pack with fast checkout through the Power Pass app. Get end-to-end support in-store and over the phone. And pick up the bill with flexible payment options, including cash, credit or a 30-day account. Back the winning team. Sign up for Power Pass today. T's and C's apply. See website for details. Bunnings Trade. Helping business is our trade.
That's right, buddy. Mitsubishi Heavy Industries Air Conditioners is giving you up to $500 cash bonus and supporting Heart Kids Australia with every eligible claim. This year, they're celebrating 25 years of designing quality products with unrivaled reliability, superior performance and cutting-edge technology. So it's no surprise they have the highest levels of customer satisfaction. Put your trust in Mitsubishi Heavy Industries, the experts in air. Terms and conditions apply.
Harvey Norman Furniture and Bedding floor stock clearance on now. Hurry in for big savings on selected floor stock, fabric and leather lounges, dining room furniture, office desks and chairs, outdoor furniture, barbecues and more. Massive floor stock clearance on selected mattresses, bedroom furniture, kids furniture, pillows, quilt covers, cushions and more. All priced to clear. Race in for incredible deals on selected floor stock with quick delivery available. Now's the time to buy. Harvey Norman Furniture and Bedding floor stock clearance. Limited time only. Hurry.
Give yourself a holiday boost with up to 10% off your next break when you book direct at choicehotels.com. Boost your well-being, boost your energy, boost your happiness. Whether you're craving a coastal road trip or rainforest adventure, Choice Hotels has over 170 locations across Australia and New Zealand. Plus, you'll get the lowest price guaranteed when you book direct at choicehotels.com. So go ahead. Book it with Choice Hotels. T's and C's apply. See choicehotels.com for full details.
Amy's Only in Australia files. When it's backyard cricket season and the umpire, who's also your mum, calls no ball. But that's irrelevant because now her brand new bay window is smashed. That's when you know the lucky country isn't so lucky. So it's
lucky you're with Amy.
Before buying home building insurance issued by Amy, read the PDS and TMD at amy.com.au and consider whether it's right for you.
Hi, Rodney Jane here. We'll help you find your fit at Bob Jane T-Marts. Want a free tyre? We've got Bridgestone, free. Yokohama, free. Kumho, free. How? Simply buy 3 and the 4th tyres free. Plus up to $200 instant cashback on selected Bridgestone, Michelin, Continental and Pirelli tyres. We won't be beaten with our best tyre price guarantee. At Bob Jane T-Marts, we'll look after you.
T's and C's apply.
Shut up! The footy's on Triple M!
Triple M rocks Rocks Footy.
This quarter for Titanium Caravans. Stay off-road and off-grid for longer with a luxurious Titanium Caravan. Visit titaniumcaravans.com.au.
3-1, third term to the favour of the Lions, and they trail here at three-quarter time just by 8 points. Hawks were electric in that first term. They got out to 17-point lead. At one stage, it got out to 36 points, but the Lions, they've found some momentum. They've found a few new levels, and they only trail by the 8 points here. We've got Chris Johnson in the house with Sarah Hosking, but Ethan Meldrum, some of the big stats from that third quarter, if you could.
Yeah, Brisbane really turned that clearance game around. I know Jono was hot on the centre bounce clearances at half-time. Hawthorn were dominating that. Brisbane led 4-0 in that category in the third quarter. Really good by foot as well, 75% by foot, probably because Hawthorn's pressure dropped away. 163 their pressure factor in the end in that third quarter. Of course, they've been a top pressure team over the last few weeks, the Hawks, so that number needs to lift for them. Leading players on the ground, Lockie Neal, 24 disposals, Dunkley, 21 for the Lions. Kai Lohmann, number one ranked player with his 15 touches and 2 goals. For Hawthorn, Warple, 23. Sicily and your man, Big Tim, Massimo D'Ambrosio, 22 disposals, 12 in that third term alone.
Jono, Sarah, who wins from here and why?
Well, we're looking.
both looked at each
I
other,
just want to
Barry.
stir the pot a bit, and I want Hawthorn to, because I like the momentum that they've got, and I just want to make Jono a little bit uncomfortable.
Well, I think Hawthorn, if they can actually win the clearances in this this quarter, they'll go out and win this game. And how important is Luke Bruce to come in and actually impact this game? I think he plays a massive role for Hawthorn to win.
Chris Johnson, Sarah Hosking on the Triple M Seabass Super special comment. Seabass Super making hard work pay off since 1984. Here's the People's Caller, Barry Dennett, to take us away.
For McDonald's and Room Hot Water, Triple M at Rocks Footies. We start the final term with the Hawks up by 8 points. The bounce is good. And the ruckman tap it to their toes. The midfielders pile on top of the footy. The umpire will ball it up. So they flood off the square as Meek goes up against McInerney. McInerney got a hand on it. Newcomb got there first, but he couldn't trap the footy or control it. Dunkley did. Punched it back up to McInerney. A little toe poke into the centre of the ground. Cameron had it, lost it. Then he laid a ripping tackle on Warple, as you just heard. And the umpire will ball it up again, still in the centre of the ground.
So they dropped one behind the football here, Hawthorn, which is Scrimshaw, and the Lions have got one extra at the contest.
Ball down, Warple immediately clamped in the tackle. Bob Jones team arts, Peter Hooley.
Brisbane have activated their sub, Harry Sharp, into the game. Brandon Ryan is the tactical sub. He is sat down.
Bob Jones team arts, they've got great buy, 3 get 1 free plus instant cashback deals. Call or shop online today. T's and C's apply. The great Peter Hooley down there today.
And says that looked like the change that I would have made as well, because Ryan didn't have any impact until only in the first quarter.
Spot on. I think it was only the 2 disposals he's had so far.
Revel to Fletcher, and a heavy tackle laid, and the free kick will go to D'Ambrosio.
Say
For the
that
Hawks.
with the roll off your tongue, Baz.
D'Ambrosio. Big Tim. Sort of
Play on the 15.
tried to teach me during the week. Little short pass today. Hand pass to Scrimshaw on the centre. He was run down. Turnover. And Big Joe did the tackling. And Danaher's got the free kick right in the centre of the ground for Brisbane.
Got nothing to really go
No.
through. He's got to wait for forwards because they all sort of pushed back and got back in their defensive 50 and really attacked from there. So
there was no urgency at all, was there? So he went short. The Zorko goes short again, back to Danaher. A 20-metre kick. He was looking for a 50, and the umpire having none of it.
Well, Bailey could have almost went on and got the advantage, but he looked up and seen there was only 3 Hawthorn players inside their forward 50.
Danaher plays on, pops it up to full forward with a drop punt. McInerney worked underneath the footy, back of the pack. Frost cleans up, little hand pass to Sicily in the back pocket. Over the top by hand is good. And Impey runs away after tucking it under his arm. Went to Ginnivan, cut off by D'Ambrosio. Hand pass to Moore. They've worked it to the wing. Hand pass to Warple. Hand pass to Ginnivan. Now a barrel kick forward to the wing for the Hawks.
High ball, big 2-on-2, and Andrews kills it out of bounds. So what have they learned from last week here, Hawthorn? They came up against Port Adelaide last week, East. They had a game high there of 41 points, was it?
41 points. The game high today, 35 points. So Hawthorn fans a little bit nervous back-to-back weeks, I would think.
And one thing they have done is Sam Mitchell's gone down and coaching from the bench right now. So he didn't do that last week where you had that disconnect with his team throughout that last quarter last week. So he's gone down to the bench to start coaching.
So they put things in play, different strategies in play. As Jono said, Mitchell down coaching from the boundary line. Have they learnt from last week? Have they trained it during the week? And can they hold on here? They lead by 8 points. Ball back in. Meek to the front. Berry got it out to Neal. He's going to be important in this final quarter. He bursts away and drives the ball to half forward. Joe got worked under it. Frost, his handball partly cut off Rayner. Now it ricochets at ground level. Well done, Frosty went back but overran it. And now McCluggage on the turnover. A high ball back with a flight Archie. Has to beat a couple and can't. It's knocked through for a minor score. So back to 7 points now at Marvel Stadium. Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard. Stay off road and off grid for longer with a luxurious Titanium Caravan.
Outstanding from Impey there, just running back with the flight of the ball. Eyes only for the ball and managed to get a little hand to it.
For the Hawks from full back. Aim on, long kick back out here. Deer will fly with Meek. And Deer put a fist on it. The ball heads to the boundary and rolls out of bounds. Don't forget after this one, it's Adelaide and the West Coast Eagles. Massive call team there for Triple M footy. Brenton Yates and Chris Dittmar, otherwise known as Yoda and Ditz, will be calling the action. And Dom Cassisi, Tom Jonas on the specials with Big Rat Biglands on the boundary line. That is a ripping team for Adelaide versus the West Coast Eagles.
Ball back in, broadcast wing. Warple does the roving, stood up in the tackle. Handball to Moore. He did well to keep control. Got it to McDonald. Sweeping handball inside for Newcomb. Long driving one. Calcidia back with the flight. He was running back towards goal, and he's taken the mark at the top of the goal square.
And that's all ball movement. Help Deer able to get back right behind Leicester, I think it was, but it's the ball movement where they've followed up through the midfield and then John Newcomb to identify what was long.
So son of the great Paul Deer, 1991 Norm Smith medalist.
Whistle.
To get the first goal of this final term and just settle Hawthorn here. It'll extend the lead to 13 points. Deer to the left of the dial. He makes no mistake. The great Paul will be looked down and smiling right now as Hawthorn extend their lead to 13 points on the Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard. Stay off-road and off-grid for longer with a luxurious Titanium Caravan.
Yeah, it was a great finish from Calcidia, but again, Jono, you mentioned that ball movement through. I'm loving this matchup at the moment between Jai Newcomb and Lockie Neal. It's whoever is on top at the moment. It was Newcomb that got that deep entry inside 50 who managed to just get away from Lockie Neal and again punish them on the scoreboard. If Lockie Neal's up at the moment, so is Brisbane.
It was a super kick. It was an absolute centimetre perfect, I'll say, Baz.
Centimetre perfect
kick right at the back there. It was just superb. I loved it.
Peter Hurley for Bob Jane teammates.
Luke Bruce has taken off the jacket, and just before, Lloyd Meek really struggling, obviously stiffened up a lot during three-quarter time, and then Sam Mitchell himself tried to get him off the oval, and he had none of it. He waved off the head coach and said, I'm staying back out there, and Sam Mitchell was fuming with the doctor, so one to watch as he went back to the middle of the ground after that goal kick. Sam Mitchell still not happy.
For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy in the centre of the ground. Berry's gone down heavily.
Well, I feel that they need to keep Lord Meek out there because when he went out in the third quarter, that's where Brisbane got on top. So I think he needs to stay out there.
Kick across to the wing to Payne. Payne marks broadcast side for the Lions. Goes to Rebel, who marks a nice 35-metre drop punt. He's 70 from home for Brisbane. So the question asked again to the Lions. They trail by 13 points. What can they do? Big leap in the pocket from Lohman. No mark taken. Massive pack around this footy, which is 20 from Brisbane's goal on the boundary line right forward pocket. And the umpire will ball it up again. 11-8-74 plays 8-13-61. The Hawks lead 6.5 final term.
Right forward pocket for the Lions. Warple. He's met in the tackle and he's carried across the line by Berry. Umpire says toss it in. So we take a collective breath here. 15.5 minutes left in this contest. And Hawthorn have led for the best part of the day since the 16-minute mark of that first term. They lead by 13 here, but it's in attack for the Lions as the ball comes down. Scrimshaw taken to the turf Archie. Lohman lurking, knocked it up towards Cameron, who's clamped in the tackle by Newcomb.
Lions need to get it outside. They need to get it outside. They don't need to drop the foot short. They need to get it out to wide to the boundary line here to get a shot on goal.
John Owen, Sarah Hosking with a Triple M C-Bus Super Special comments. Tap down to Newcomb, and he just hacks the ball out of the back pocket. Long drop punt to the outer side wing. It's Giath who runs onto it, doesn't get there. McDonald lays the tackle for the Hawks, allows Sicily, and here they go through the centre. Hand pass Ginnivan, hand pass Giath. He's going to run into trouble, spun himself out of it. Player running inside of the square was McDonald, he's got him. They just kept running from half back, and he's 40 out on a slight angle. And McDonald turns his back to have a shot for the Mighty Hawks.
Well, it was a dangerous kick there by Sicily. Just went out and just bombed it out long. Knew that he had two out there and just bombed it out. And they just worked it out there beautifully amongst themselves. And then Jaff going forward and just clear kick to McDonald.
Connor McDonald. He settles over the footy for his first of the afternoon. 45-out drop punt. I reckon he's got it. He has. Will they not be denied today, Hawthorn? 9 minutes now into the final term, and the Hawks have done some damage here. They lead by 19 points, 12-8-80 to 8-13-61 the Lions, and that's all on the Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
Yeah, I'll echo you there, Jono. It was just the run and carry, the ability for multiple players to run. It was Sicily with a great little handball straight to Ginnivan, who got absolutely dumped after a handball, and Jarth just a great composed kick to get down.
Bob Jones team arts, Peter Hawley.
Looks like Lloyd Meek's done enough to stay in the game or dodge it well enough. Cashier out. Luke Bruce just coming onto the field now.
Great stuff, Pete, for Bob Jane team arts. So margin back out to 19 points now at Marvel Stadium. Can the Hawks hold on as Big Lloyd Meek, who's half wounded, he taps it down. Newcomb was there and he lays the tackle on Berry.
Yeah, that's a right call in that sub, because Meek is actually really showing how to play ruck with against Big O.
As Newcomb from the stoppage arches the back, he burn off Dunkley, and then a left foot ball forward. Had the arm held in that contest there, Andrews. So free kick against Gunston. Might go Choice Hotels around the grounds, Heath. What's happening in that other game?
Yeah, early stages of that game. Disappointed to say Tim St Kilda with the first goal of the game, 3 minutes in, so they lead by 6 points in that one.
Wilmot high ball inside 50. The big score came Weddle. Loman front and centre. Snaps to the goal square, but Sicily takes the relieving mark.
He's clever, Sicily. He knew that ball, everyone had gone up to the ball, and he just sort of protected the goal line like a goalkeeper.
So the ball's marked at half back by McDonald for the Hawks, and he squares it back inboard. So on defensive 50, they hold it up. And they've done some damage here, leading by 19 points in this final term. 11 minutes in, a drilling pass to Newcomb.
He's the one that needs a 5 for Hawthorn to win this game and to keep going through. They've kicked 2 goals so far to Brisbane to nothing. He's a key, Newcomb.
Another drilling 20-metre pass from him to Warple. He's had a big day, Heath Warple.
Yeah, Red Z lending stats, leading ball winner on the ground, 27 touches, 8 score involvements, 9 clearances.
Long kick to half forward from Warple. The back of the pack, there's no one home. Answorth can run onto it for Brisbane. Got an unkind bounce allowed Chol. Closing speed was good, put the pressure on.
Free kick back to Brisbane.
Umpire's got involved. It's going to go back to Wilmot, is it?
Yep. Ainsworth, sorry, Baz.
Ainsworth, so he got a bit of high contact at the bottom of the pack. And he's in the left back pocket for the Lions. They trail by 19 points, 11.5 final term.
Long and strong down the line. Meek front spot against McInerney. Off hands, aim on. Tunneled the handball to D'Ambrosio. He handballs over the top to advantage for Ginnivan. Runs to 60. A long driving ball, top of the square, but Andrews stood tall, police disguise. And now he squirts a low flat one. Just patient stuff out of defence here. Zorko fans the kick back wide to Payne. Right back pocket. And now he massages another ball, finds Loman at half back.
They're covering out. They're covering pretty well here, Hawthorn, to get a quick exit. They just manned up everyone and covered all the exits.
Long and deep from Loman, drop punt. The spore came from Weddle, and it goes sideways and trickles out of bounds in front of the interchange gates on this broadcast wing. So they've kicked the first 2 in this final term, the Hawks, and they're leading here by 19 points on the Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
Boundary throw in. It's red time for the Brisbane Lions. This is a big 4 points for them. The runners-up from last year, and Hawthorn are running away with it. Newcomb's got it. He's dragged down in a tackle, holding the ball. Dunkley was the tackler, and that was good. Again, they try and sort of con a 50, and now just the concentration, the hand pass in front of McKenna. He was good enough to go back and track it, but he toe-poked it along the ground. Might work okay. Fletcher's got it. Hand pass to McCluggage. Standing start from 40. Puts this very left. He's missed everything and out of bounds on the full. 19 points up for the Hawks.
Sorry, Baz. He was undecided whether to pass it because he had Rayner going back to the goal square or have a shot. And halfway through, he didn't know what to do, whether to have the shot or pass the ball.
So what's the message here from Fages, Jono? What does he send out? Obviously, Barry said it's an important 4 points here.
Yeah, you just got to keep playing your game and believe it, and everyone's got to stick on the same page.
Ball down the line for the Hawks. Out the back, Wilmot cleans up, turns boundary side, and then a left foot ball into the pocket. Danaher held off it from Frost. No free kick coming. Rayner lurking. You can't keep the Sharon in the field of play. Out of bounds, 15 around from the Lions' goal. They trail here by 19 points. Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
So Brisbane are pushing. Can they snag one here? They need one. 13.5 final term. Boundary throw in, big numbers inside defensive 50 for the Hawks. Grabbed by Lohman, dragged down as he kicked the footy, and it's gone along the ground and very left and snuck it through for a point. So it's an 18-point lead to the Hawks. 3 straight kicks, 14 minutes into the final term. Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
They've only won 2 final terms this year, Hawthorn. So they're going to have to buck the trend here. Can they hold on to this 18-point lead as Amon has it in the left back pocket? He darts a low flat ball to the captain, Sicily. Not the acting captain today because Impey's got the reins in Sir Doug Nicholls' round, but Sicily long and deep. That's a great ball for Moore. He releases Nash, who arches his back through the middle. The Irishman almost got mowed down. It's a ball in the Chol direction. 1-2, he put it down! Big Mabs in a one-on-one. Too big, too strong.
And that's against Payne. Payne has been unbelievable the last month back there, along with Harris Andrews. But to win that in a one-on-one scenario and to be able to pull it in, had the weight, just put one hand up, he put his right hand up, tapped it down to his left and just hugged it in. Needs to go back and kick this, Chol.
To kick his third for the night. This would pretty much seal the deal. To the left of your dial, the crowd will tell the story. Big Mabs is threaded at home. And Hawthorn look very likely now. 13-8-86. The Lions 8-14-62 on the Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
And there was another goal generated from half back through Sicily. Hit Nash. Nash running through the middle of the ground. What I loved is his patience to be able to run and carry. Jono, thank you for laughing at me. But it was a great finish there from Chol. Just to be able to, he was running back with the flight of the ball, not looking at the ball, but the time and the patience. Again, just great forward craft to be able to tap the ball to himself. And a great finish in front of goal, exactly what Hawthorn needed.
But the kick into Moore, into Dylan Moore, then over to Nash, and Nash identified that he had him on that side and kick it to advantage. Superb by the Hawks.
For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy, and 24 points now, the Hawthorn lead. Here go the Lions. Near little hand pass to Archie. Streams out of the centre. Long kick towards full forward. Little hand pass comes out to Rayner. Another one to Bailey. Crosses the body from 20's missed. Jeez. Hooked it to the left. A 23-point lead now to Hawthorn. And 17 minutes into the final term, Ethan, I mentioned how important this 4 points was looking for the Brisbane Lions in the context of where they are in the season. Just on the live ladder and what they've got coming up, what's happening for the Lions?
Right now, live ladder style, Brisbane 12th on that ladder and closing in with a bullet. Hawthorn 13th, if you don't mind. 4 and 7 if they win this game. Brisbane 4.5 wins from their 11 games.
The Blue-tongued Lizard gave it off to Warple, who ducked out of the tackle. Then a chaos ball to the 50. Collected on the bounce, Leicester. We got out to Fletcher from a standing start. Fans it wide. Well done, Archie. Good solid mark over the top of Ginnivan. And now a drop punt to the 50. Morris, the 19-year-old. He's a lump of a lad.
He's been good, really good overhead.
He's pulled it down 53 from home. He sends it back towards Big Joe.
Wow. Huge hit.
And there's been a clean-up in the process. A free kick the way of Hawthorn as Danaher just parks himself on top of Warple. They have a little giggle to each other. So watch here on the Triple M Harvey Norman replay. Sarah, Jono.
Yeah, both players really attacking the ball hard. Warple not knowing that Danaher was coming. and Danaher just collected him with the shoulder. There was no head clash at all, but there was no head injury or anything like that. It was just shoulder and shoulder. It was more of a body clash than a head clash.
Triple M Harvey Norman replay. Harvey Norman Furniture and Bedding floor stock clearance. Huge range of lounges, dining, mattresses, bedroom furniture and more. Price to clear. Hurry limited time.
Well, Weddle got the free kick out of that, so that's interesting. Long kick to the outer side wing as McKenzie went at it and McKenna won it for the Lions. He goes short to Lohman, forward of the wing, and he marks. A kick inside forward 50 is good. And the mark has been taken by Morris. So Morris will go back directly in front. He'd have to kick this 52 metres to kick the goal for Brisbane.
Good build up there from the Lions. Back half, won the one-on-one, came back in the middle.
Didn't go for goal. And across half forward, and the mark's taken by Fletcher. He's still 55 metres out. 45-degree angle, broadcast side. Fletcher just puts it to the hot spot. 15 metres out from goal. Front and square Lohman. Didn't get a kind bounce. Had to lay a tackle. And sits on the footy. The umpire will ball it up. Same margin from goal for the Brisbane Lions. Scoreboard 13-8. 86 the Hawks, 8-15-63 the Brisbane Lions.
Bailey from the pocket! Oh, he roved it beautifully off the tap. He was running towards the boundary. Dribbled it off the instep and got the nice little leg break. Straight through the middle. And they're still in the contest here, the Lions. 9-15-69. Hawthorn 13-8-86.
That was outstanding from Zach Bailey. Angles don't get much tighter than that. Again, critical time of the game for Brisbane to be able to come back. He roved that straight off the ruck's tap and a great kick across the body.
Well, it was great how the Big O just cleared the area, cleared the space. They haven't done that all day in their forward 50, and what a time to come up with it.
Let's go, boys. Yeah, Red Z landing stats breaks a run of play for Brisbane as well from general play. Their last 10 shots on goal, 0 goals, 7, been really wasteful. That breaks a streak for them.
Red Z landing lows for the self-employed, REDZED.com with Ethan Meldrum this afternoon. So the Lions breathe again. The bounce will be outside the circle. We'll all reset and it'll be balled up. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. Hot water needs replacing. Go for one that's steady, hot and strong. Archie Plum to install a Ream. Hawks out of the centre though. They win the clearing ball. A low drop punt out towards Ginnivan, who led off half forward. Bucks one way then the other, and he's dragged down in a tackle. Good tackle, Jaff, as well. And the umpire's going to ping the player at the bottom of that. It's going to be a free kick to Hawthorn. Fletcher, was it?
Bit unlucky. Fletcher just picked the ball up, had no prior opportunity.
So Jaff has the footy on the boundary line, and he's about 70 metres out from Hawthorn's goal. Lions won't want this. They lead by 17 points, the Hawks. Big packet full forward. Punch to ground level. Zorko in the back pocket has his hand pass smothered. They're under the pump here, the Lions. The Hawks are swarming. McDonald picks it up, has a snap across the face. Running with a fly to the footy and not marking was McKenzie. And heavy tackles laid on top of him, and the umpire's going to grab the footy and ball it up. And it's still 20 metres out from the Hawks' goal.
Goal from Hawthorn here seals the game.
Sharing up, right forward pocket, Hawks. Newcomb there, tackled by McKenna. He's rinsed around in the 7-20, but no prior opportunity.
Thanks, guys. Back in this way.
Umpire says, I'll have it. So right forward pocket. We'll do it all again. Sharon goes up in the sky. Meek down. McCluggage there. He's clamped heavily in the tackle by Moore. Dropped the ball in the process. The umpire says it, toss it in.
Hawthorn should learn from last week. They just need to lock this game down for the next 6 minutes or so here and just get the win.
The Hawks hang on this time. 22 minutes final term. Boundary throw, and it's in their forward pocket. As Bruce gets a hand pass and has a shot. The sub, but he's missed. It's an 18-point lead now to the Hawks. 22 and a half final term. Let's go around the grounds. Heath, what's happening at the MCG?
Yeah, I won't make Tim do it. Melbourne kicked the last 3 goals of the game halfway through the first quarter, I should say. 3-2-20 they lead. St Kilda 1 straight 6.
Outside 50 here, Lions. Good tackle again, Giath. He's rising to the occasion. He's a crowd favourite here. When he goes near the ball, they get out of their seats. So left half forward here for Hawthorn. They lead by 18. Meek, comfort in the boundary, just spikes it there. And we'll burn off a few more seconds.
And that's all they need to do. They just need to keep burning this clock down. There's only, just over 5.5 minutes to go. So they just need to keep getting restoppage and keep this ball in the forward half of the ground.
5.5 minutes left in this one as the ball back in. It's a shallow one. McInerney picked it from the back. He got out to Dunkley, a high ball to the broadcast wing, through the hands of Morris. Loman there, tried to spin out of the tackle. He couldn't get out. And Amon holds the ball in. Neutral territory broadcast wing. 5 minutes 24 on the clock. And they lead here by 24 points.
Ball thrown in the air, slapped down towards Newcomb. Newcomb has it punched out of his hands. Ginnifan on the end of it though. Ginnifan hand pass to Moore. They can go here. Hawthorn, he's 70 from home. Drills it to the pocket in front. Andrews got in front of Dunstan. It's good. Gunston took the mark. Hand pass over the top to the running Leicester. Leicester runs outside defensive 50 for Brisbane. Runs along the ground for Cameron. He's wrapped up in a tackle by Impey. Ball spills to Moore. Hand pass back to Bruce. Bruce kicks inside forward 50 and dropping back inside forward 50. Gunston, and he's marked at 25 to 30 metres out on a 45-degree angle, and the veteran can go back and ice the game. He's already got a couple.
You'd expect him to milk the clock, take his full 30 seconds here if he can.
Attendance today, 29,664. Good crowd. Gunston's kicked 3 for his 4th goal. He stands up. They lead by 18 points. 4.5 left to play. He's got it. And the Hawks look to shut the door. 14-9, 93 Hawthorn. 9-15, 69 Brisbane. 4 minutes 20 left on the clock. Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
Jono, can your Brizzy boys come back from here?
I wouldn't have thought so. If they had gone and probably kicked a couple of more goals, I would have given them every chance. But now I can comfortably say I think the Hawks are home. Less than just over 4 minutes to go in this lead. And I think at the moment Hawthorn are really, really in a good position to win this game. Gunston 11 possessions with 4 goals. Outstanding performance by him today down forward.
And Red's Head Lending stats have been dead eyes in front of goal 2. 13 goals, 1 from set shots so far today. Brisbane a bit wasteful on the other hand. 9 goals, 15 for the day, but Hawthorn are converted when it matters.
It's Lockie Neal, Berry and McCluggage in there for Brisbane.
All the big players here. McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. Here is Neal. Wins it out of the middle, sends it up inside 50, beats all comers out the back. Scrimshaw, he's claimed in the tackle there by Archie. No Pryor. 25 out here from the Lions goal. They trail by 24 points on the Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard. As the ball's up, the big men go to work. Meek to the front. Amon got it to Day. Newcomb steps back onto his right boot. It's high, it's long, and it's wide and into the head of the Fox footy boys.
It did, right in his head. You're right, Tim. Good call. And that was funny because he's okay. So Answorth, he grabs it, brings it back in. Danaher, big fly, but didn't mark. Just desperate now, Brisbane, but it's ticking away. They know it is. Amon out of the back pocket. Nice long drop punt. Leicester reads it nicely. And he marks behind for Brisbane. So he's about 70 from home. 24 points. The Mighty Hawks, looks like they've done the job this time after heartbreak last week for this young, developing side. And they're exciting and they've got a bit. Don't worry about that. Hawthorn. Kick back to the wing. Gunston flies. Holding free kick will go Brisbane's way. Another chance for a re-entry, this time through Harris Andrews.
Andrews attacking side of the swing. He goes inside. Zorko wants to go open side. He's got McKenna out there. 70 from home. He looks into the spine. That's a nice ball to Big Joe.
Big Joe.
Danaher's taken the mark. 40 from home directly in front.
And that's what they haven't done a lot of, is changed the angles when they've gone in the inside forward 50s. That there went straight out. They had a lane there for Danaher to lead up to, and what a superb kick delivered on his chest.
He's kicked the 1 goal today, Danaher. He's tried hard all day. This just to give them a little sign of hope. To the right of the dial, kick on its way, and he's threaded it. Danaher's got his second. Margin back to 18 points with 2.5 minutes left on the clock. Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
So they need at least 3 goals here in 2.5 minutes. It has been done before, Jono. Body language suggests otherwise, though, at the moment for me. Danaher kicks that. Could be still in it, and not many Brisbane players got around him and celebrated.
No, certainly not. And I think the Lions know that They haven't been able to score 3 goals in 2 minutes all afternoon, and I think at the moment it's certainly Hawthorn here. They get this stoppage, they get the clearance, or either just draw the clearance. They're well and truly home.
Adelaide and West Coast after this one. We look forward to that. Going to be a big one. The call team for Triple M, Brenton Yates, Chris Dittmar. That's Yoda and Ditz. Tom Cassisi, Tom Jonas will be there. That'll be Dom and Tom. And Rhett Biglands is there as well, Big Biggles. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. And out of the centre goes Lockie Neal for the Lions. Can they do it again? A kick inside forward 50, no. Trying to barge through was Archie, dragged down in a tackle. Hawks rally in numbers. Oh, look at them. They're swarming around the footy. Not this time, they say. Hand pass over the top to Newcomb. Runs forward to the wing. Tries to bounce the kick towards Bruce. He grabs it at half forward. Short pass is good. Now Mackenzie's marked this on a 45-degree angle. And he's going to kick it from about 46, 47 out. But, geez, you could just see they weren't going to be denied back there.
No, they weren't. And what I've loved about Hawthorn today is their attack off half-back out there with Nash involved as well as Newcomb. And they just keep working it forward. And the Brisbane Lions defence tried to come at him, but they were able to go over. That was great work by the Hawks.
So Mackenzie spins the foot in his hand. Hawthorn lead by 18 points before the kick. 1 minute 32 left on the clock. Mackenzie fires from 46. Is it come back enough? And it hits the post. Hits the far post. And that's a phrase you've got to get right on radio. 19 points is the margin Hawthorn's way. And we're 29.5, Big Tim, into the final term.
Sure are, Baz. Important point, that one. That's a 19 now as Impey. He's going to send them back to half forward. It's all Lions, though. Leicester on the up to Big Joe, who wobbles a weird little kick forward. He's put it on the chest of Frost. They're going to enjoy this one, the Hawks fans.
Yeah, they will.
They were denied last week when they should have got that one. They went back to the drawing board. Listen to them.
Oh, yeah.
There was heartache at the start of the year. They lost the first 5. But they've found something here, this group.
It's character, though, to bounce back like that, John O, after a loss like that.
It is, especially last week where they should have won, and tonight they're able to get over the line.
Nash, long and deep to the outer wing. Ball off the pack. Oh, swooping it up there was Bruce. He tight walks the boundary, but the umpire says it was out of bounds. He was away.
He got that excited he ran out of bounds.
Yes. He was out, though, Buzzer. If he could have kept it in, he'd leaped forward. Anyway, 27 seconds left on the clock here. Mitchell sitting on the boundary. He's happy here. It's all smiles at Hawthorn.
It certainly is. And as we said, great character from this young side. As Day out of the centre kicks a long ball to inside forward 50. Ginnivan got smashed as he went for the mark. Payne's got it in the back pocket. Dropping the ball, so the crowd, and it's going to be a free kick to the Hawks. And that'll tick the game down. And the tackler was Bruce, the sub this afternoon, the veteran. And he can go back and have a shot for goal, which will take place after the siren. Oh, the Hawks are on their feet. Their fans are on their feet. It was heartbreak last week in Adelaide. And it's absolute jubilation here at the moment at Marvel Stadium. Bruce, with a bit of icing to put on the cake, if he kicks the goal, they'll crack the 3 figures. Bruce puts it through. 15, 10, 100 Hawthorn. 10, 15, 75 the Lions. The Hawks have bounced back. And that is a great character-building win for this young side, the Hawthorn Footy Club.
We're a happy team at Hawthorn. We're the mighty fighting Hawks. We love our club and we play to win. Riding the bus with a grin at Hawthorn. Come what may, you'll find us riding. Teamwork is the thing that talks. One for all and one for one, the way we play at Hawthorn. We are the mighty fighting Hawks.
Hawks by 25 points in the end. That's their 5th win in a row against the Brisbane Lions. And for the Lions, that's devastation here this afternoon. That was a 4 points they really needed to claim. But for Hawthorn, what a magnificent victory after what they went through last week, this young side. You can see young sides just fall right away after a loss like that and have a bad week the week later. Not today. Sammy Mitchell got them up and they were magnificent.
It was great, and especially after that third quarter performance too. You know, they came back within a couple of points, Brisbane. So for me, Hawthorn, it was great that they could just power through the fourth quarter. It was their young players that stood up. Newcombe was outstanding for me. Dylan Moore had a real influence in that last quarter. Warple has been amazing all game. So I think, you've got to take some confidence. That's the fifth time they've beaten Brisbane, but also the way that they're starting to develop as a team, Jono, and start to really gel together has been outstanding these last few weeks.
It has been, and unfortunately last week they were just a little bit off it in the last sort of 30 seconds. They probably should have had that win, but this afternoon, they really got going in their clearances. The Brisbane Lions sort of gave them no respect and thought, we'll go up against you, we'll back ours compared to you. But the Hawks, their midfield were outstanding, and going down to the forward line were really, really good.
All right, courtesy of Fox Footy, let's go down to James Sicily with Sarah Jones.
I don't know, maybe Cholly's goal, but after last week it was a bit unsettling. I probably didn't enjoy it until that siren went today.
So you obviously missed last week coming into the side. The different mindset today, late in the game, and having to be attacking and having to be brave. How did Mitch articulate that?
Yeah, the last 2 weeks we haven't scored in the last quarter, and probably played a game style that wasn't the game style that got us in the lead. So we wanted to keep the ball up tempo, still take risks, take the game on. So that was the mindset in the last quarter, not to go in our shell and play a different brand of footy that we hadn't been playing all day.
Does it show that this group is growing in maturity?
Yeah, and it shows how coachable we are as well. Like we all want to do the right thing, we all listen, we're all on the same page. And when we're on the same page and predictable to each other, we're a bloody good side.
The midfield battle, certainly earlier in the game, centre bounce was a really key part for you, and then Lachie Neale kind of worked himself into the contest and you were able to peg things back. How did you see that crucial element of today's game?
I think that second quarter set us up, really, then the centre bounce. Like, we were really, really on top, and we dominated that area of the field. So to go into half-time after performing like that, and then, of course, they're a great side. They came back in the third quarter and put some pressure on us. I think they were maybe even a goal behind at one stage. So yeah, they're a good team, and I don't know, something about us against them. We seem to match up well.
Yeah, that's 5 in a row now, getting a win over them here in Melbourne at Marvel Stadium. Do you feel like this can be a building block that you can keep stringing a few together and maybe press up for finals?
Oh, yeah, we're always adjusting the goalposts. I mean, this month of footy has been really good for us. We've been consistent. It's all been really simple sort of stuff. Pressure on the ball, run hard. Real simple message, predictable to each other. But this last month of footy, we've taken so much growth out of and so much belief and confidence.
Go and enjoy it with the guys.
Cheers.
That's the Triple M Amy review. That's James Sicily there, and a very, very happy captain. Clangers happen. Lucky you're with Amy. And don't forget at McDonald's, a new Feisty McSpicy range at Macca's. Things just got feisty. And Jono, we were talking just before we went down for that interview, but it's very, very impressive, wasn't it, from the Hawks?
It was, and they were outstanding, and to go back and how accurate they were in their set shots was fantastic as well. And it's the same thing, their midfield and everything else as we go downstairs.
Yeah, courtesy of Fox Footy, Sarah Jones with Jack Gunston.
Yeah, it was a tough watch. I was watching with Sis last week, and they played so well for 3 quarters, and they deserved the win. And look, I guess it's lessons learnt, and we went out in this last quarter. Brisbane kept challenging. They did in the third, they dit in that last, but we kept taking the game to them, so it was pleasing to come away with the result.
As an experienced player, what do you see your role as late in the game? Obviously kicking goals, and you did that, but in terms of leadership and maintaining that the boys still be brave, what do you do out there?
Yeah, I think as a young guy, and I felt it when I was young, it's so easy to go into your shell and put your head down and feel the momentum of the other side. So as an older guy, it's just a matter of constant communication, talking and keeping them confident that we just need to keep playing our way.
A game against one of your old sides today in the Brisbane Lions, and next week you're up against the Crows, and a milestone game, 250 games. It's been quite the journey, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has. I think it's my first 200 was pretty smooth sailing, and from there it's been a bit bumpy. So yeah, it'll be nice to have a lot of family and friends there. It's for them, it's not for me. So yeah, we'll enjoy this win and this week and see how we go.
You're probably in a different boat to a lot of your teammates, in that Mitch is a former teammate of yours. So did you feel for him during the week with all the pressure that came at him? And he even put his own hand up and said there were some coaching errors. How do you feel as a former teammate when you see the coach go through that? Yeah,
Sam's got a great relationship with the players, but especially us older guys. And I think it's unique that, like, after a loss, and I know Sam's probably feeling down, I can just text and call as a mate, not so much sort of one of his troops. So look, we're all in it together, and we all hurt together, and look, it was good to come out with a pleasing victory.
Well done today, great performance in front of the goals, and good luck for game 250 next week.
Thanks, Sarah.
Jack Gunston, what a ripper he's been and what a ripper he is. for the Hawthorn Footy Club. 4 goals, 1 in each term of this match, and such an important player. And a former Brisbane Lion, spent some time at Brisbane and back at the Hawks.
His resurgence is almost in line with the Hawthorn resurgence. A lot of people had written him off, Baz, and said he was finished. And then he comes back out. His last couple of weeks have been almost the Jack Gunston of old. He's been a barometer for them as well. Like last week against an undermanned side, he kind of kicked the first goal to get him going, and the week before against the Bulldogs he did the same. So he's setting the tone there for them at the moment. But an important win here tonight for the Hawks, and they continue a great stretch of form against the Lions. The last time the Lions beat the Hawks was back in round 19, 2019. That was at UTAS Stadium over in Tassie. So it's been a long drought for the Lions against the Hawks.
Certainly has.
It has, and we heard James Sicily talk about they match up so well on them, and I feel, going back on the Jack Gunston, I think Marvel Stadium really suits the way he plays. He plays deep. He didn't get too high up today, and he was really down there, and his ability to actually draw the ball to himself is outstanding.
All right, tonight's I'm Loving It moment happened at the 14-minute mark of the final term. Here's how we called it on Triple M Footy.
Big Mabs in a one-on-one. Too big, too strong.
And that's against Payne.
This would pretty much seal the deal. To the left of your dial, the crowd will tell the story. Big Mabs has threaded it home. And Hawthorn look very likely now.
Big Mabs, Big Tim.
Loved his game. He was awesome tonight.
Yeah.
I thought he kicked 3 goals. He had 9 disposals, 6 tackles as a big forward too. I thought he brought some pressure in really key moments.
I just love the way you were sitting back when Jono was talking about the Hawks. You're like the cat that got the cream, Sarah. You backed them all
Hey,
night.
when you're on, you're on. You've got to roll with it.
No, tell me about the Hawks.
Take the cake and eat it too.
Of course, coming up very shortly, the Triple M MVP Award from Employment Hero. We'll get the votes for the match. The Hawks still out on the ground here, and it's been a very big afternoon for them after what was a very tough week last week when they thought they had it in Adelaide against Port Adelaide, and in the end they got, in incredible circumstances, they got done by behind. Choice Hotels around the grounds. Please, Big Tim, what's happening at the MCG?
Yeah, Melbourne, or NAM as they're known, during Sir Doug Nicholls' round, they've got a hold there. They're 4 goals, 7-31. Euroke, the St Kilda Footy Club, just the 1 goal in that first term, Baz. So 31 leading 6, 25-point buffer to the way of the Demons.
Whatever your reason for travelling, you get the lowest price guaranteed when you book direct at choicehotels.com, so go ahead and book it. Don't forget the team in Adelaide ready to go. They are Brenton Yates, Chris Dittmar, Tom Cassisi, Tommy Jonas is there as well, so it's a solid team. And Big Biggles on the boundary line. Rhett Bigland said it's going to be a ripper match. The West Coast in some fine form. And you travel a long way to see Harley Reid at the moment. He is an absolute sort of supporter sucker inner, because you'd come and watch him play, no matter who you barrack for.
Especially with West Coast, they've struggled early in the year, struggled last year. It's exciting. I think there's people that are from other teams wanting to watch and wanting to go to the games too, so that'll be an interesting one.
It will be, and I think what he's done, and see him get in the face of his old teammates as well, that was fantastic.
Yes.
And Sunday Arvo footy's back. The Twilight footy's back. I've been talking to people, Barry, and they're not only talking about you and how good you are, but they're saying Sunday Twilight footy. Usually some people switch off on a Sunday, but with Harley Reid up and about, they're switching the TVs back on.
Not the old Swans days, back in the day when they went to the SCG. Jono, you remember that?
No, don't.
Yes, you
Tell
do.
me all about it.
You were about 20. And they went up there. They were the days. They were the days on a Sunday Arvo. They were your second team. Hawks are gathering in the rooms. We'll go down there for the song. That's been a big win for them. 25 points in the end after a goal on the siren by Luke Bruce. 15-10-100. They defeated Brisbane. 10 goals, 15-75. Let's get down to the rooms and hear the boys. Ah, yes, a very happy team down there. They've all got smiles on their faces that go right across their heads. And why wouldn't they? Because they're a happy young group, and that's a big win for them. The Triple M MVP award from Employment Hero. From hired to retired, Employment Hero's HR recruitment and payroll software handles it all. Search Employment Hero today, and the good ones, Jono, today, I believe, are going to be provided by you.
Yeah, they certainly are, Baz. One vote will go with John Newcomb. 23 possessions. He had the 10 contested and 6 tackles. I thought he led from the front there in the middle of the ground. And then 2 votes goes to Carl Amon. He was very good at back half, and last week he had a few incidents, but he had 29 possessions. He had 4 contested and 4 tackles. He was outstanding. 29 of those possessions, 21 of them were kicks. He was really, really good. And the 3 votes goes to James Walpole. Outstanding. He was very, very good throughout the whole game. He had the 28 possession, 13 contested balls as well. So he was really, really good.
And coming up for both of these sides, Big Tim.
Yes, Baz. It's let's look at the month ahead for the Hawks. So they take on the Crows next week at the MCG. That's a gettable win if they're playing as well as they played the last couple of weeks, Jono. You'd give them a really good chance there. Then they've got to go down to UTAS Stadium and take on the Giants. Then the Tigers back at the G, and then the Eagles at Optus Stadium. You're looking at those 4 matches. If they play at their best and at their best level, you could clock up 4 wins there, and you know they're getting into the conversation of finals. It's crazy to say.
Yeah, especially over the last few weeks. And I think today what they've shown is that they can play Marvel pretty well, and they can go away and obviously play a pretty good away, but they can't play the 4 quarters away. So some of those ones, especially the one that you talk about going over to the West Coast, that's going to be the struggle for them as well. So they need to make sure that they're ready for that. But certainly the one down at UTAS Stadium against the Giants, the Crows at the MCG next week as well, and then the Tigers back at the MCG. So you would think if they get over 2 of those 4, they'll be certainly in finals contention.
All right, we're going to wrap it up here from Marvel Stadium because we've got a big game to go to, which is Adelaide and the West Coast Eagles. Sarah Hosking, 3 votes to you today. Well played.
Thank you, Baz. Good to be back.
Superb. Jono, you got a couple, so well done to you.
Just the one.
A vote to Peter Hurley down at ground level. What a ripping game he had. Tim, management have said you and I have got a bit of work to do, so
yes,
that's fine. Thanks,
okay.
Rudy, Kirk, Mark, and also Chris back in the studio for looking after us. Let's go to Yoder and Ditz, heading up the team over at Adelaide Oval. Adelaide and the West Coast Eagles. Hawks by 25 points here. And for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, remember this and your week will be okay. And it is the Triple M Rocks Footy.